Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. National Magic. Daily Check-In, specializing in thunder. Chapter 41. Yell. A panting-like sound came from Xiao Xiao's mouth and nose. Xiao Xiao, who had just regained a trace of sobriety, suddenly realized something, and quickly got up and looked around. She found that Lu Ning was leaning against the door of the hidden room, staring at her faintly. At this time Xiao Xiao looked very embarrassed. This is because Lu Ning's evil spirit thunder also caused a little damage to her while hearing the evil magic. After all, Lu Ning will deliberately control the power so as not to cause too much damage, but it also makes Xiao Xiao's black hair in the past look like a chicken coop, blown out by electric shocks. What happened? After Xiao Xiao checked herself, she found that her innocence was still there, and she couldn't help but feel relieved, but she also wondered why she was fine. If Lu Ning is really a righteous person, then he should also lose his mind completely. Could it be that he really used his hands? Thinking of this, Xiao Xiao couldn't help gnashing her teeth lightly, with mixed emotions on her expression. What happened? Oh, just now you were desperate to touch me, and I was desperate to touch you, and then... Stop talking. Xiao Xiao immediately interrupted Lu Ning. Lu Ning, hard. The fist is hard. Are all women like this? Doesn't she still feel wronged? But there is one thing to say, just now he was really ruthless. I wiped a lot of oil from this big beautiful girl. Lu Ning may still be considered a gentleman in this situation, but it doesn't mean that he is really calm. Mada, you don't know, just now you are too hard. According to Xiao Xiao's description, the demon family's special magic, evil fall magic, should be a very powerful magic. After all, the detonation of emotions is scary just from the description. I didn't expect that the evil spirit thunder can restrain this kind of magic. Quote. Lu Ning lowered his head and pondered for a while. The effect of the evil spirit thunder was far beyond his expectation. Student Xiao, can you solve this? Crack the magic formula above. Lu Ning then took out a magic storage bracelet and raised it at Xiao Xiao. Xiao Xiao froze for a moment. Then he said, as long as it's not a high-level storage item, then, you can. Hearing the affirmative answer, Lu Ning immediately beamed with joy. Plop. Xiao Xiao suddenly fell to the ground. She looked at her feet in astonishment, and didn't react for a long time. Lu Ning touched his nose. Presumably this is the aftereffect of the evil spirit god thunder traveling all over her body. She is not a body-refining mage. Even if Lu Ning deliberately controlled the power of the evil spirit thunder, it still injured her. Her body was damaged, and it should be difficult for her to walk normally for a while. Someone came here just now and was deceived by your phantom magic, but it will be hard to say later. Let's change the place first. After Lu Ning finished speaking, she stepped forward and picked up Princess Xiao Xiao. No, don't do this. Lu Ning's rough movements made Xiao Xiao a little uncomfortable. The former was not surprised either. With a wave of his hand, Xiao Xiao was carried behind his back. You don't have to feel embarrassed. You are the first person of the opposite gender to come into contact with me like this. Xiao Xiao didn't say the classic words like, but I'm a girl, but just responded lightly. Ben is an extremely smart girl, but she is not so exaggerated in terms of hypocrisy. But it won't be the last. Didn't you say that I am lucky? Quote. Xiao Xiao stopped talking. After a while, thanks. Xiao Xiao expressed her belated thanks. She lay on the back of Lu Ning, and clearly saw some tooth marks on Lu Ning's neck, which must be her own masterpiece. After the two walked out of the hidden room, Lu Ning returned to seriousness and asked, do you have any clues on how to get out of this maze? Xiao Xiao shook her head, but suddenly thought of something, and hurriedly said. Not yet, but on the other side of the human camp, they seem to know that there is a maze in advance. They are very decisive when choosing a direction in the maze. Of course, this is just my pure guess. Lu Ning hummed and wrote this down. And at this time, there were whispers of conversation at the corner of the maze ahead. It was here just now, and it's back. Forget it if you can't find it. Go back and join R2 and the others. That group of people who are obviously human geniuses, although they escaped before, are all seriously injured and pose no threat for the time being. No, humans, they killed many of us. Let's look for it again. There is a human woman who has been cursed by Wu Ya's evil depravity. It should have completely exploded by this time. It is impossible to hide. Lu Ning heard intermittent voices. It was also distinguished that this was the language used by the demon clan before. Let's go back to the original room first. Xiao Xiao naturally heard it too. Lu Ning shook his head. Judging from the voice of the voice, there are no more than 5 people. This amount, sprinkle water. Lu Ning stretched out his left hand, and pressed his backhand to protect the back of Xiao Xiao's neck. Xiao Xiao was a little puzzled by his action. But the next second, 5 members of the demon tribe walked out of the maze, and the eyes of the 2 sides met. Human, the demon clansman shouted instantly. Seeing that there was another injured person on the other side, he immediately relaxed. But whether you relax or not, it's too late. Because when they came out of the turning, what they saw was the afterimage of Lu Ning left in place. A flash of thunder. Like a golden light beam, it instantly passed through the 5 demons in front of them like a needle thread. At this moment, Xiao Xiao only felt that all the scenes in front of her eyes were completely condensed into a ball of thread, which was the visual disorder caused by super high-speed movement. She finally understood why Lu Ning held her neck. It was because he was afraid that his neck would break directly under such a sudden burst of super speed movement. Boom, 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 boom. A series of 5 sounds fell. Xiao Xiao looked back, and found that the heads of the 5 tall demon clansmen who were already behind him had slipped from their necks while maintaining their bodies rushing forward. The head that rolled to the ground still had a stern expression on it, and it didn't even realize that it was dead. Ah! After a while, the heads of the 5 demons screamed in horror. Lu Ning put the Lei Hangdao in his hand into the storage ring, and looked back at Xiao Xiao who was lying on his back. Xiao Xiao opened her mouth slightly, her beautiful eyes were full of shock. Moment. She killed 5 demons in an instant, and 3 of them were faces she was familiar with before, and they were the 6th order demons who besieged them. Tier 6 was instantly killed. Not to mention the ability to resist, they didn't even react. This means that in front of Lu Ning, if he is at a sufficient distance and does not use defensive measures in advance, it must be the end of instant death. So strong. This guy, so strong. In fact, Xiao Xiao didn't see clearly what happened just now. But it does not prevent her from subconsciously sketching and imagining a picture that might have existed just now. And Lu Ning's extremely handsome figure. Lu Ning then searched for the corpses of the next 5 demons, and collected all the weapons and magic items on them. Magic defense equipment is not uncommon. But that kind of magical defense equipment that can predict danger and activate it on its own is extremely rare. At least these demons don't have one, and the magic defense equipment they wear needs to be actively activated. They didn't have that activation time when they were caught off guard and faced Lu Ning face to face. After tidying up here, Lu Ning casually took out a magic storage item and handed it to Xiao Xiao who was behind him, saying, "On the way to find the exit, you should spend some effort to unlock the magic formula on these storage items." Quote. Good. Xiao Xiao responded softly. She suddenly felt that if she couldn't decipher the magic formula, would Lu Ning just leave her behind? The 2 walked together in the maze together. In a blink of an eye a day passes. Lu Ning signed in again, but got a very interesting ability move, Taoism's Palm Thunder. Baidu search for Zhongshanlei, and you can even find some content about the use of it by the leader of Tongtian. However, it is absolutely impossible for Lu Ning's lightning in the palm to reach that level of exaggeration. But when it comes to the Taoist Lifa, it is definitely worth looking forward to. In addition, Xiao Xiao's toolman is very efficient. In just one day, he solved the magic formula of 30 storage items. It is a pity that there are no materials and weapon props about the thunder system. However, there are many recovery magic potions. There are also many materials, which involve the 5 elements of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth, all of which are included. Signed. At this moment, Xiao Xiao who was walking beside Lu Ning suddenly let out a cry. Following her gaze, Lu Ning saw a right pointing arrow mark on the ground under her feet. But it could also be a trap. Before Lu Ning could speak, Xiao Xiao added another sentence. "It's okay, let my avatar explore the way." Lu Ning thought about it for a while, and then cast Lei Dun Lei Clone, and let Lei Clone walk along the mark, while Lu Ning and Xiao Xiao followed behind at a distance. Follow the marker for a distance. At the corner of a certain maze, the brilliance of a magic circle suddenly rose from the ground, and then dozens of magic chains were born to bind Lu Ning's thunder clone. Lu Ning. Immediately afterwards, a surprised voice sounded. It's Yang Yan. But she is not alone. There is a hidden room at the corner. In the hidden room, the seriously injured Shang Heng is lying there, not knowing whether he is alive or dead. Except for Shang Heng and Yang Yan, there are also two other freshmen from Tianan College, namely Xiao Kai and another girl named Zheng Chao. And Qin Zhanfeng and Xia Liu from Shenbing Academy. Someone has already walked out of the maze. I know the route, but I dare not go there rashly. Yang Yan said concisely. She took a deep look at Lu Ning, but didn't talk about the avatar. Qin Zhanfeng, who was always talkative, also seemed unusually silent at this time. Lu Ning has not had much contact with Shang Heng, a genius, but judging from his previous performance and Xiao Xiao's previous description, this is a very charming man of heaven. When in a dangerous situation, he can stand up bravely and raise the banner of the team. If Shang Heng hadn't spared no effort to kill the queen, Qin Zhanfeng and others would have died in the hands of the demon clan. Lu Ning asked at this moment, what's the situation with Shang? It's very serious. The treatment that can be done has already been done. If it continues to be delayed, I'm afraid it will be. When the girl named Zheng Chao spoke, there were tears in her eyes. Unknowingly, everyone's eyes were already on Lu Ning, as if they were waiting for him to make a decision. Lu Ning opened his mouth, then said to Yang Yan in a deep voice, lead the way. Now that I know the route out of the maze, it will be over sooner or later. But Xia Liu from Shenbing Academy said in a pleading tone. How about, wait, we have left a lot of marks, and those who are still alive in our academy may come over later. Many people are powerful, so wait for another half a day. Lu Ning nodded. However, after waiting for a long time, no one came over. Xia Liu and Qin Zhanfeng sighed and could only follow Lu Ning and Yang Yan out of the maze. It is true that someone knew the route of the maze in advance. But it seems like you have to go through a battle to get out of the labyrinth. With Yang Yan leading the way, an obvious exit appeared in front of him. Beside the exit, there are scenes of messy battles, and a huge puppet body lying on the ground. There is a treasure chest next to the giant puppet's body, but it has already been opened. You wait here, let my avatar go out and have a look first. At the exit, Lu Ning cast Thunder Clone again. After a while, he beckoned for safety, so everyone left from the exit of the maze one after another. Passing through the labyrinth, there is a straight passage leading directly to a hall with a closed door. It was strange that the hall door was not pushed open. Looking back, I found that the maze originally had 5 exits. 5 elements. Lu Ning had already made some guesses at this time. There are not a few games he plays on Earth, and the similar settings are all too familiar. Since this is a man-made extension of the secret realm, it is understandable that there is a test similar to customs clearance. However, the good times didn't last long, and a teleportation force enveloped everyone, wrapped Shang Heng, who was seriously injured and unconscious, and teleported them directly into the hall with the door closed. Grass. Lu Ning cursed inwardly. The idea of the snipe and the clam fighting for the fisherman's profit was completely lost. He looked around the hall. It was found that there was a sarcophagus in the center, and there were 5 palm prints on the coffin cover. Beside the sarcophagus, there are some familiar figures. But compared to the number in the Blackstone Hall before, it has dropped sharply to just over 100. Demon Clan, there are 20 demons left. For the Feiyu clan, there are 30 people. There are only 15 members of the Pyroxene family who look like elves, and the rest are 42 people led by Wang Yun. Besides, there are also 4 from the Academy of Divine Weapons. Yang Shiqi, who is also seriously injured, and Cheng Hong and Zhou Lin. There is also Mu Feiwei, who has the aristocratic temperament of a young lady. This young lady is pale at the moment, and it can be seen that she is injured. Counting Lu Ning, the 7 arrogants. Right now, there are Du Zixuan from Shenbing Academy and Yu Xiaobai from Tianan Academy, whose life and death are unknown. As for the other top geniuses who are inferior to Tianzhao, at this point in time, it may be more or less auspicious. What happened? Qin Zhanfeng hurried forward to ask Cheng Hong. Cheng Hong immediately replied. the coffin should be the treasure of this place, but 5 mages need to press on it at the same time to open the coffin. The mage's magic talent must be a high-level talent, and it must be an elemental talent. Now, the only difference is a mage with fire magic talent. This is the reason for the brief peace in the hall. When Lu Ning heard this, he vaguely felt that there was a hand behind him controlling everything. Advanced magic talent is not something you can find just by looking for it. This already belongs to the talent of Tianzhao level. And Yang Yan is the only high-level fire element talent mage among the freshmen of Tianan College this year. If she hadn't been slightly inferior to the Tianzhao in her understanding, she would definitely be considered a Tianzhao. Student Yang should be an advanced magic talent in the fire department. At this time, Cheng Hong whispered to Qin Zhanfang. As soon as he finished speaking, "Who is Student Yang?" That demon or two's eyes suddenly fell on Lu Ning and his group. This devil can understand human language. Student Yang, will you come out on your own initiative, or let us ask you to come out? Following two is Wang Yun. He looked towards Lu Ning with no expression on his face. Yang Yan's expression remained unchanged. Lu Ning glanced at Cheng Hong, a freshman from Shenbing Academy, and said with a ha-ha. Don't make the atmosphere so awkward. What if there is an old monster lying in this coffin for who knows how many years? It's normal like this, the precondition for triggering the instance boss. Hearing this, Wang Yun couldn't help but sneered, and said in a rather sarcastic tone, "It's all here, and with so many people dead, even if there is really some old monster you mentioned, I will recognize it." Recognize together. That's probably the same idea on the side of the 3 alien races. In fact, they have some guesses in their minds. If there is any danger, the previous maze will not be so simple. The maze is indeed not very dangerous, but the members of their party encountered a fight in the maze, which damaged many companions. Humans, we have little patience. The previous account has not been settled yet. Yuya, the leader of the Feiyu tribe, gradually showed a violent look on his bird face. Aoshuili of the Pyroxene clan did not speak, but she also silently looked at Lu Ning. As for the demon or two, there is no need to say more. At this time, several more people were sent to the coffin hall. It's from the academy. It was Yu Xiaobai and Du Zixuan, whose lives and deaths were unknown before, plus 2 academies from both sides. Tianzhao deserves to be Tianzhao. So far, no one has died. What's the situation? As soon as the handsome Yu Xiaobai came in, he asked Xiao Xiao next to him. We need to think about it, 3 minutes. Lu Ning spoke at this time. Then he asked Xiao Xiao to perform a soundproof magic to gather with the students of Tianan College. I think there is something wrong with Cheng Hong's Shenbing Academy. It was also because of his words that we lost the opportunity to leave the Woodland Secret Realm. Lu Ning spoke his mind, which is why he didn't let Shenbing Academy join the discussion. Then what should we do now? Yang Yan asked along the way. Open the coffin. Then, speaking of this, Lu Ning looked at Xiao Xiao, but he established a spiritual communication with Xiao Xiao alone, which is naturally the latter's magical ability. I can tell, Lu Ning may not even trust the people at Tianan College. Xiao Xiao listened to Lu Ning's words, a touch of shock flashed in her beautiful eyes, and then she concealed it very well, and nodded slightly. 3 minutes later, the soundproofing magic is gone. Let's go, Yang Yan. Lu Ning greeted and led Yang Yan to the coffin. Seeing this, Wang Yun and the aliens walked towards the coffin tacitly. The 5 high-level magic talents are Wang Yun water, Yang Yan fire, Yucheng gold of the Flying Feather clan, Aoshuili wood of the Pyroxene clan, and Er2 earth of the Demon clan. The 5 looked at each other, then simultaneously pressed the right hand on the palm print on the coffin. Lu Ning stood by Yang Yan's side all the time, coping with possible sudden situations. Funny thing is, because Lu Ning's sneak attack was too ruthless before, now the people on the other side and Wang Yun's side have actively activated magic defense equipment, or put defensive magic on themselves. Are these people belonging to the Saint Seiya, and the same move won't work a second time? Seeing that they were so cautious, Lu Ning naturally wouldn't make amusing surprise attacks again. At this time, suddenly there was a dull sound from the coffin. The magic power in the bodies of the 5 people was overbearingly absorbed, and the face of Yang Yan, who had the weakest background, suddenly turned a little pale. But fortunately, it was only absorbing magic power, and did not cause any damage to her in essence. It would be fine to drink a few bottles of magic power recovery potion later. I don't know if it's the bad taste of the owner who built this place or what. Originally, Lu Ning thought that the coffin lid would be opened slowly with a sense of ritual, but it turned out that the coffin lid popped open without warning. The things inside are immediately seen by everyone. 5 boxes of different colors, and a blue key. Call out. When others saw these 6 things, Lu Ning had already reached into the coffin. Court death. Wang Yun and the alien race were furious, but they didn't expect to attack Lu Ning, but wanted to fight for the treasure in the coffin. But at this moment, the mutation occurred again. Zzz. Ah. Lu Ning's miserable cry resounded throughout the coffin hall. Everyone paused for a moment, and took a step back subconsciously. At this time, Lu Ning, from the right hand that was stretched into the coffin, was spreading extremely intense thunder and lightning towards his whole body. His whole body was shaking like chaff, and his face was in extreme pain. Help me. Lu Ning struggled for help. Idiot. Fortunately there is this idiot, otherwise I will fall into the trap inside the coffin. Haha, it's so good. Where will someone save him? It's too late to gloat. Lu Ning. Yang Yan let out a cry, but she didn't know how to rescue him at this time. Back. Lu Ning signaled Yang Yan to back away with words squeezed out of his teeth in pain. No, this is the place where my Pyroxene clan's 5 elements Maharaja built it. It is impossible for thunder elements to appear. But at this moment, Aushwali of the Pyroxene clan suddenly realized something, and quickly exclaimed. Oh, I was discovered by you. The lightning all over Lu Ning suddenly disappeared, and he leisurely put the 5 boxes and the key into the storage ring. Immediately afterwards, he said madly with hatred, what a bunch of cuties, how can such a clumsy acting skill be deceived? Ha. Hand over the key, or die. Wang Yun's face was blue and purple, so gloomy that water dripped out. He was told before entering this place. There is basically no danger here, and it belongs to a different kind of opportunity. And that key is the greatest treasure here, the real key to unlock the trial site of the 5 elements Maharaja. Either live and take the key out, or all die here. In front of a strong man like Duan Tianliu, they had no choice, and they had already been imprisoned by magic, so they had to work hard. Lu Ning ignored Wang Yun's words. He saw that he had completely become the target of public criticism, but there was not much panic on his face. Instead, he raised his chin slightly. Let's start. Everyone who breaks through here. I am your dungeon boss. Humans. Rampant. He wants to fight against us alone. Be careful, there may be fraud. Lu Ning's arrogance made everyone astonished, but they were keenly aware of the crisis. Reminiscent of the previous, secret conversation, between Lu Ning and Tian in college. Wang Yun, Yizu and others subconsciously felt that Lu Ning had already started to design something. Call out. At this time, there was a sound of breaking through the air. It was Tianzhao Yu Xiaobai who held a card between his fingers and flew towards Lu Ning. This place is in darkness, those who hold the card can ignore the restrictions. Buzz. As soon as Yu Xiao finished his vernacular, the magic on the card was activated, causing the entire coffin hall to be plunged into invisible and boundless darkness in an instant. Regarding magic talent, it is actually divided into passive and active. For example, Yang Yan's, Flame Master, is a passive magic talent. But Yu Xiaobai's, God's Contract, is an active talent, which can be used as a special kind of magic. Yu Xiaobai's magical talent is very abnormal, and it involves rules, to a certain extent. But this kind of talent naturally has limitations in terms of strength, that is, under normal circumstances, mages with a higher realm than him are useless. However, the rule, similar to making the venue dark without causing harm to anyone, even if it is higher than Yu Xiaobai's level, is also restricted. Lu Ning is really reckless. This is also because he is alone in this world, without father or mother, and has no lover, relatives or friends, so of course he can let go of everything. However, this does not mean that Lu Ning is a fool. It is also a manifestation of his wisdom to use all the available combat power of one's own side. And Lu Ning's current goal. It is to reduce the number of Wang Yun and the 3 alien races sharply. When the coffin hall was completely dark, Everyone cast their magical defense immediately and activated their own defensive equipment. Wang Yun and the foreign race also immediately gathered their formations. Clap! A cluster of thunder suddenly appeared, charging towards Wang Yun and the others majestically. Small tricks. Seeing this, Wang Yun snorted immediately. Seeing this one, he immediately took out a magic item with his right hand, which was a black chain. In his hands, the black chains split apart suddenly like cluster missiles, turning into more than 100 chains to bind the figure wrapped in lightning in front of him. 6th rank magic waterfall burst. Wang Yun is a high-level water-type magic talent, and his proficiency in casting 6th level water-type magic has reached the proficiency level that does not need to be chanted. Suddenly, in the dark coffin hall, a huge wave with a diameter of more than 10 meters rolled and rushed. The power of the huge wave was extremely terrifying. Before it completely hit Lu Ning, it caused waves of shock waves. And it was not Wang Yun who took advantage of this opportunity to attack Lu Ning. Others won't watch. Although it was a dark environment, Lu Ning's thunder light acted self-defeating at this moment, marking himself. Buzz, bum, bum. In an instant, all kinds of magic were deployed, aiming to kill Lu Ning in one go. But what they attacked was Lu Ning's thunder clone. Lu Ning's body had already taken advantage of the darkness to touch the side of the Pyroxene clan. The Pyroxene family's own defense is generally weak, but their magic power is very strong, and they can cast joint magic that threatens high-level magisters. Lu Ning felt that once the Pyroxenes were set up, they would be the most difficult to deal with. Never underestimate the output of magic power. Brontodragon's wings strike storm. At this time, Lu Ning's arms stretched out, and immediately turned wildly. Thunderbolt. The deafening thunder bombarded the ears of the Pyroxene tribe. Lu Ning, which rotated at super high speed, directly turned into a raging thunderstorm, rushing into the group of 15 Pyroxenes with a force of destruction. Crazy lightning strike. He faced each other, and directly rolled all the other members of the Pyroxene tribe into the air except Aushwali, and then his arms continuously released thunder balls condensed by the power of the sky thunder. 1, 2, 3, 30. Boom, 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 boom. The sky thunder and thunderballs from the violent lightning strikes exploded one after another. Even with magical defense equipment, they could not withstand such intensive rounds of bombing. The 14 members of the Pyroxene tribe were killed by Lu Ning with a crushing attitude in just 1 second. Ka! There was a slight breaking sound from Aushwali's body, and a jewelry on her wrist broke immediately. This is a special magic item, involving space magic, which can be triggered actively, allowing her to change to another position in an instant. It was this precious item that kept Aushwali from being involved in Lu Ning's lightning storm. Next, Flying Feather Clan. The figure of Lu Ning, who was spinning at super high speed, suddenly stopped, and then forcibly rushed into the crowd of 30 people from the Feiyu clan. Spread. Yuya, the leader of the Feiyu tribe, immediately shouted. Just now, the thunder and lightning storm that was as dazzling as the extreme day in the darkness is still vivid in my mind. Yu Yi didn't have time to think at all, he only knew that he couldn't repeat the mistakes of the Pyroxene clan. In addition, their Feiyu tribe is good at speed, so it is better to spread out. And this is one of Lu Ning's plans. First use the lightning storm to plant subconscious cognitions that cannot be gathered in others, and then he can use his super one-on-one instant kill ability. Thunderbolt. Lu Ning did not hesitate to use Sikong Zhen's big move. This instantly increased his all-round ability by more than 10 times. Thunderbolt. 8th Company. Thunder Dragon's collapsing fist. Bangquan. 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 Fun 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 fun. How can the speed of the Feiyu clan compare to Sikong's Thunderbolt flash when he is in the state of his ultimate move? Although the Feiyu clan is not as fragile as the Pyroxene clan. But a Thunder Dragon's punch can't break you. What about the second punch? What about the third punch? Faster bursts, faster punches. This is Lu Ning's explosive strength that completely ignores the consequences of consumption, and it is a violent aesthetic that completely crushes others. And in this process, the most critical link came from Xiao Xiao. In addition to Lu Ning. In this coffin hall, no one's magic proficiency has reached the non-chanting level. This means that their magic can be interrupted. At this time, the hall has been restored to light, and Yu Xiaobai's rule card has a time limit. After her vision was brightened, Xiao Xiao continued to cast spiritual magic to interrupt other people's magic attacks on Lu Ning. This made Lu Ning's efficiency in killing the Feiyu tribe more smooth and unimpeded. In all eyes, they couldn't find the exact figure of Lu Ning at all. The flying feathers were scurrying high in the hall, but each time they would be overtaken by a human-shaped lightning arc that looked like a golden light, and then their heads would burst into blood mist, and their bodies would fall heavily on the ground. Lu Ning. Qin Zhanfang's eyes were completely dull. In his opinion, those powerful flying feathers are one-on-one in front of Lu Ning. In less than a dozen seconds, the bird people almost became warm corpses. Ah! Yu Yi yelled in pain and anger. Where did he not realize that this human being is best at killing by name? If he hadn't issued the order to disperse, but had strictly guarded against it, even if there would be damage, he would never have ended up like this. Wang Yun's brows twitched wildly, and his eyes were full of horror. This is Lu Ning's Tianzhao, or only the 5th rank. Is this him, the 5th rank? Why did such a terrifying monster appear in Tianan Academy this year? In less than 20 seconds, Lu Ning beheaded a total of 43 people from the Pyrostone and Feiyu tribes in a row. But also because of his explosion, regardless of consumption, the total amount of magic power in his body is already in a deficit at this moment. The duration is shorter than I imagined. At this moment, Lu Ning's face was silent. Then he flicked his left and right hands and threw a talisman towards Wang Yun. Thunderbolt Talisman. As for the demon clan, a bead was thrown. It was Tianlizi. The Thunderbolt Talisman poured out lightning in an instant, and dozens of thunderbolts moved irregularly, heading towards Wang Yun and others with a thunderbolt. Tianlizi also erupted suddenly. However, in terms of power, it seems to be a bit insufficient, and it may create a more exaggerated explosion momentum, making the demon race side a little bit cautious and busy defending for a while. Whether it is the Royal Thunder Talisman or the Sky Thunder Sun, Lu Ning didn't even expect to rely on them to kill his opponents, just delaying time for himself was enough. Eat, eat, eat. Lu Ning took out low-level lightning-type materials from the storage ring, which he bought before, but because the effect on improving his own strength was already very low, they were used as special medicines for instant recovery of the power of the thunder element. His state won't last long. Wang Yun immediately woke up. He was about to cast a magic attack on Lu Ning, but there was a sharp pain in his mind, and the magic that was about to be cast was forcibly interrupted. Spiritual Mage. He turned to Xiao Xiao behind him with cold and vicious eyes. He has been interrupted several times. That's right, this Tianzhao named Lu Ning is indeed as strong as a monster. But after all, they have the advantages of numbers and ranks. As long as a magic hits Lu Ning, it can interrupt Lu Ning. Just hold Lu Ning for a while, and let him fall into a situation of being besieged by himself and others. Lu Ning, be careful, that pyroxene woman has a way to neutralize my spiritual attack. At this moment, Xiao Xiao's urgent reminder sounded in Lu Ning's mind. Go to hell, pyroxene magic comet impact. The moment Lu Ning heard the reminder, he looked at Aoshuili, the leader of the pyroxene clan in the corner of the hall. I saw this elf-like woman holding a staff with a blue gem inlaid on it. And at this time, her magic has been brewed. Staff. Lu Ning was shocked. The magical weapon of the staff has been almost eliminated in Blue Star, mainly because although it greatly increases the power of magic, it will increase the casting time. In the battle of life and death, if your magic casting time is longer than others, it definitely means that you will die faster than others. Boom! Aoshuili's magic attack struck. It was a straight beam of energy several meters in diameter, and the beam shone with an extremely deep blue-green brilliance. Its attack speed is so fast that even Lu Ning can't react. Transfer. But Lu Ning was not alone. A cluster of magic array brilliance suddenly appeared under his feet, and then the whole person directly changed the position in space, and there was an extra piece of clothing in his original position. This is Yu Xiaobai's card magic, space replacement. At this time Yu Xiaobai's code has disappeared. However, Aoshuili's magic is not limited to this, it is the magic that can be locked. The blue-green beam of light suddenly turned at a right angle, and bombarded Lu Ning without slowing down. Lu Ning pushed his hands flat to block it, and he was covered with a layer of lightning armor. The pyroxenes are naturally good at magic. Aoshuili's magic talent enhanced the power of the magic she cast, plus the power bonus of the staff. This comet impact was so powerful that Lu Ning gritted his teeth. The first thing to bear the brunt is the lightning armor of the thunder escape body, which is rapidly disintegrating at a speed visible to the naked eye. Followed by Lu Ning's arms. The moment his arm bones endured the powerful impact, the bones immediately dislocated. If it weren't for his strong physical body, if anyone should use this method, the bones of his arms would definitely be shattered into dross. Good. Go deal with that woman. Wang Yun was overjoyed, and immediately sent someone to entangle Xiao Xiao, so that she would interrupt her magic spell inadvertently. Superior. Qin Zhanfeng shouted loudly, although his side's combat power is insufficient, the only way to fight is now. Demons, do you want to reap the benefits of being a fisherman? At the same time, Wang Yun looked at her too, the demon clan, with extremely unkind eyes. The female demon next to her too is the one who gave Xiao Xiao the buff before, named Wu Ya. In fact, Wu Ya had cast evil magic on Lu Ning long ago, but Lu Ning had the evil god's thunder protection, so her evil magic didn't work much at all. 6th rank magic, myriad blade spear wheel. The demon clan hadn't responded yet, but Yu Yi, the leader of the Feiyu clan, made a move. I saw the birdman thrust his right hand toward the sky. A huge golden magic circle immediately appeared in the sky above his head. There were ripples on the magic circle like water waves. Every time there was a ripple, a golden spear would extend out from the magic circle. Just a few seconds, there were hundreds of golden spears coming out, and they locked onto Lu Ning and shot them. Yu Yi's complexion looked extremely pale and feeble. This is his magic move at the bottom of the box. Suffering from the impact of the comet, Lu Ning suddenly threw the key he got from the coffin to his side from the storage ring. When Wang Yun saw the key, his eyes immediately became tense. It can be seen that the key is flying towards someone, but after a little hesitation, it continues to cast magic on Lu Ning. Clatter. Wang Yun cast water magic, condensed a 10-foot-sized water titan, and rushed towards Lu Ning. Lu Ning guessed right. Seeing the key being grabbed by Cheng Hong, Xiao Xiao's heart sank suddenly. Yeah, it's a helpless thing to be suspected. Cheng Hong put the key in the storage bracelet, leapt and moved to Wang Yun's side. Cheng Hong is indeed Duan Tianliu's person. And what Duan Tianliu wanted was the key to unlock the inheritance of the 5 elements Maharaja, so he didn't need to explain at this time, and boldly admitted it. The worst has happened. But what happened to the sudden excitement? Lu Ning didn't care about Cheng Hong, he just felt that his heart was beating fast at the moment. At this moment, he seemed to block out all other sounds except his own heartbeat. The power of the comet's impact caused him to be injured a lot, but not to the point of losing his combat effectiveness. At the moment, Lu Ning took out a large piece of fire-type material from the storage bag that he had captured before, and stuffed it into his mouth all at once. Yang Yan. At the same time, Lu Ning roared. Hey! Yang Yan's ancient magic, fire spirit technique responded to Lu Ning's roar. Compared with before, the fire spirit is more powerful. After Huo Ling screamed sharply, he directly attacked Lu Ning. Yang Yan, what are you doing? Except for Xiao Xiao, everyone else looked at Yang Yan in disbelief, with anger on their faces. Lu Ning is not alone in doubting Cheng Hong. Cheng Hong hurriedly pointed out that when Yang Yan had advanced fire magic talent, it was almost tantamount to self-destruction, and the others were not fools. But Yang Yan is also an insider. However, the next scene completely stunned everyone. Lu Ning opened his mouth suddenly, and the fire spirit fell straight into Lu Ning's mouth. The fire spirit instantly disintegrated into a pure flame, which was sucked into Lu Ning's belly. Lu Ning's body inflated rapidly like a balloon, but then gradually stabilized. The dragon scales that appeared slightly before now fully manifested on the face. A pair of pupils gradually turned into vertical pupils. Flames and lightning kept jumping in his eyes. When you are full, your strength will come up. Coming. Phase 2 Lei Yanlong mode. Hot. Burst. At this time, Lu Ning couldn't describe what kind of state he was in. The flame magic power and lightning magic power in his body collided and fused with each other, producing an indescribable and wonderful reaction. It's like a nuclear reaction, boiling water, as if endless energy surged from the stomach, traveling up and down to fill every inch of the body. This made Lu Ning want to scream and shout, want to be released, want to destroy. The broken bones in both arms healed almost instantly. Not only did it maintain the thundering state, it even increased the multiplier in this state. Roar. With a roar from Lu Ning. Like a Saiyan bursting with anger, a special magic power of thunder and fire emerged from his body, and that magic power condensed into a red-gold thunder flame, soaring into the sky. Boom boom boom. The power of the comet impact was completely neutralized. Yuya's thousand-blade spear wheel is like a wooden arrow hitting a stone, and it has no effect at all. Before Wang Yun's water titan even reached Lu Ning, it was directly evaporated into steam, and a large white mist enveloped the entire coffin hall in an instant. Swish. The movement of Lu Ning's body was like a teleportation. He came in front of Xiao Xiao and the others. Everyone, get behind me. All the teammates on the side were shocked beyond measure, but at this time, there was no need to ask any more questions, but they just stood behind Lu Ning as usual. Go to hell, Lei Yanlongs. Roar roar. Lu Ning inhaled sharply, his chest swelled high, and he opened his mouth immediately. Boom. A bunch of red gold flames in the form of lightning spewed out from Lu Ning's mouth. The extremely dark red gold thunder flame seemed to contain a terrifying power to completely destroy everything. Just looking at it can make people feel trembling and frightened. Cheng Hong. Wang Yun shouted in horror. Shut up. Cheng Hong cursed angrily, tore off a delicate belt around his waist, and released a strange monster whose whole body was made of magic crystals. How can it be? It's a magic crystal beast. Isn't this monster already extinct? When the young lady Mu Feiwei saw the crystal monster, she couldn't help showing a hint of shock in her beautiful eyes. Just like the magical talent of living beings, there are naturally some special bloodlines, or special creatures themselves. This magic crystal beast is one of them. The most perverted part of this monster is ignoring magic damage. The magic crystal beast must be Duan Tianliu's backer for Cheng Hong. But Duan Tianliu's supporters are not limited to these. I saw Cheng Hong once again took out a large piece of Warcraft model that looked like a figure from the magic storage props. Warcraft puppet. The number is even more than 100. Quote. After seeing Cheng Hong's handwriting, or two of the demon family was full of question marks. Their demon race is enough to rank among the best among the many creature races in the Ruins continent. As a result, there is no sense of existence here. He didn't quite understand why Lu Ning hadn't attacked them before, but it was also because of this that Er2 had the idea of sitting on the sidelines, saving his strength and waiting to reap the benefits in the end. And now he's come back to himself. That human arrogance really grasped the impossibility of his demons and human beings, so that he could have time to show that incomprehensible and terrifying whole card. Block him. Cheng Hong released the magic crystal beast, pointed at Lu Ning, and gave orders. The magic crystal beast screamed, and took the initiative to block Cheng Hong, bearing the impact of Lei Yan's roar. An unimaginable scene appeared. I saw Lu Ning's head suddenly swaying up and down, left and right, and his movements were like ghosts and animals that had been electrocuted by a machine. This caused the Lei Yan roar in his mouth to look like a huge sword. Sweeping back and forth in the entire hall, except for the position behind him, all positions were ravaged by Lei Yan's roar to his heart's content. Xiao Xiao and the others behind them were dumbfounded. Is this him? What kind of fairy move? Not a one-time release of explosive magic, but a sustained and powerful output. Under the indiscriminate bombardment of Lu Ning, how can there be living things in front of everything? The most unrepentant ones are the demons. Er2 just gave birth to Lu Ning to take advantage of the idea that they would not cooperate with humans, and it was immediately overthrown. Because Lu Ning's thunder flame roar contains evil god thunder. Except for Er2, who is a heterogeneous demon, with earth magic talent, the magic of other demons is mostly dark magic and body training magic. Their dark magic was like paper in front of the evil god thunder, and it was instantly washed away. It was only at the last moment before his death that Er2 realized that Lu Ning did not choose them as the target of attack because he had the means to restrain the demons. Bang bang bang, bang bang bang. I don't know how long it took. The entire coffin hall was devastated, but Lu Ning continued to output high output. Lu Ning. Only then did Xiao Xiao remind her aloud. Lu Ning did not reply, but the roar of Lei Yan in his mouth gradually weakened. Suddenly, Lu Ning stepped on both feet suddenly, and his figure flashed in front of the magic crystal beast. He clenched his right fist and punched the magic crystal beast on the head. With a bang, the head of this special magic creature immune to magic attacks was directly smashed by Lu Ning. In Lei Yanlong mode plus Thunderbolt state, Lu Ning's power soared unprecedentedly, and the magic crystal beast, which was unable to be immune to physical attacks, naturally died. After the magic crystal beast died, Cheng Hong, who was hiding behind him, had already looked dull and lost his resistance. Look around and check around again. After seeing that everyone except his opponent and Cheng Hong was burned to pieces by himself, Lu Ning's arrogance gradually faded away. His appearance now also looks very hideous and terrifying. The surface of the body was red, and the skin and bones were stretched to pieces. It is the first time to use the Lei Yanlong mode, and it is not so easy for Lu Ning to withstand the powerful physical burden it brings. After everything is vented, the heavy drowsiness dared to rush over, but Lu Ning insisted on gritting his teeth and holding his breath. Tread, tread. Footsteps came from behind. Lu Ning looked back and saw Xiao Xiao and his teammates. Lu Ning. Qin Zhanfeng looked at Lu Ning with a complicated face. A deep sense of admiration was hard to contain. You two are doing great. Lu Ning stretched out his left and right hands, and rubbed the heads of Xiao Xiao and Yang Yan respectively. Then he shook his fist at Yu Xiaobai, who is also the pride of heaven, and said in the same way, the cooperation is good. You, what a monster. The aristocratic Yu Xiaobai opened his mouth, and it took him a long time to hold back a word. Fortunately, this monster is a teammate. He added something silently in his heart. Lu Ning took out a long robe from the storage ring and simply put it on for himself. He sat on the ground now. Xiao Xiao and Mu Feiwei cast healing magic on him. Although the effect was not great, it did slow down the physical pain caused by Lu Ning's high-strength explosion. While Xiao Xiao was treating Lu Ning, her thoughts were rippling. When she thought of Lu Ning rubbing her head just now, she didn't feel a little hot on her face. Student Lu Ning really hides her secrets. Mu Feiwei, who came from the Huang Empire and had the temperament of a noble lady, smiled at this time and talked to Lu Ning. Lu Ning replied with a smile, you discovered all of this. In fact, I secretly told you that I only used 30% of my strength. Hear this. Mu Feiwei let out a snort, covered her mouth with a light smile and said. Student Lu Ning is also a genius in terms of humor. Lu Ning laughed. Of course he could hear that the other party was flattering him. Haha, I don't see it, you are also very interesting. Keep talking, it will make him sleep less sleepy. For now it's all over. But if he really relaxed because of this, and passed out without warning, it would indeed be much better, but his life is in the hands of others. Xiao Xiao, who was thinking wildly, saw that Lu Ning and Mu Feiwei seemed to be chatting happily after a few words, showing a little displeased expression. Her state of mind at this time is very delicate and cannot be described. But it is undeniable that the figure of the young man who killed the quartet just now was indeed deeply imprinted in his heart. The other side, he was scared stupid. Qin Zhanfeng looked at the sluggish Cheng Hong, clenched his fists hard. If it weren't for Cheng Hong, the freshmen of the two colleges would have already left the woodland mystery earlier. How can it be like now? There are only a dozen of 40 people left now. Fortunately among the misfortunes, Tianzhao did not fall. Sha Liu, who is also from the Shenbing Academy, frowned, and said, let's find a way to get out of here first. After he gets out, he will naturally be interrogated. After Sha Liu finished speaking, she turned her head and looked at Lu Ning who was talking with Mu Feiwei with a smile. She clearly remembered that Cheng Hong's whole card at the end was definitely a crushing advantage. It was because Lu Ning's light was too dazzling that other people didn't realize it. Without Lu Ning's explosion, all of them would die. All the storage magic items that can be found are here. At this time, Yang Yan and Yu Xiaobai walked up to Lu Ning and handed the found magic item to Lu Ning. Lu Ning followed the trend. The previous ones belonged to him naturally, but what he got now, he was planning to share some of the contents with Xiao Xiao, Yu Xiaobai and Yang Yan. After all, without them, Lu Ning would not be so smooth. As long as you work hard, you are eligible to share the benefits. This is Lu Ning's cognition. As for the others, the academy will definitely compensate them, and it's not Lu Ning's turn to take care of them. Compared to last time, the power of your fire spirit technique has been greatly improved. After Lu Ning took all the storage magic items, he said something to Yang Yan. This is not flattery. Yang Yan, who was only at the 4th level, was surprised that the power of the fire spirit technique was vaguely comparable to that of the 6th level magic. But thinking that everyone has secrets, Lu Ning naturally wouldn't ask deeply. Yang Yan shook her head. It's not as good as you. Compared to me, although the sun is dazzling, the moon is also unique. Narcissism. Ha ha ha. Xiao Xiao felt even more xiaojuju in her heart. She suddenly felt that Lu Ning, does every girl have to flirt with him once? His good fortune actually stems from his own love. The door to the hall can be opened from the inside. A voice came from Qin Zhanfang's side. Immediately afterwards, there was a heavy bang, and the door of the coffin hall was forcibly pushed open from the inside. And after pushing the hall, on the straight passage linking the exit of the maze, a teleportation magic circle appeared as if triggered by a mechanism. Guess this is the way to get out of here. There is a teleportation magic circle. Finally we can leave here. Dead, a lot of people. There's no time to sigh. Shang Hang's injury has worsened, and we must hurry up to heal. Wait, there may be living companions in the maze. There was a momentary disagreement among the people. On Tianan College's side, because Shang Hang was seriously injured, he had to hurry up and leave. Yang Qiqi from the Shenbing Academy was in a stable condition, and they wanted to go back to the maze to see if anyone was still alive. Lu Ning immediately said, I will stay and go to see if there are any survivors. Others, leave with the wounded. Qin Zhanfang gave a thumbs up and said simply, since Brother Lu said so, then I have no objection. Sha Liu next to him said, Lu Ning's condition is not good, and he is not suitable for one person. At least one person should be left. Xiao Xiao and Yang Yan in unison, I'll stay. As soon as the two girls finished speaking, they looked at each other subconsciously, and then looked away. Qin Zhanfang. 6. When Lu Ning rubbed the heads of Xiao Xiao and Yang Yan before, he felt that Lu Ning was not a mortal, who would be so natural to tease two girls at the same time. As a result, these two girls seemed to be really attracted by Lu Ning. In the end there was no argument. Xiao Xiao and Yang Yan stayed with Lu Ning. On Tianan College's side, Yu Xiaobai, Xiao Kai, and Zheng Chao left with the seriously injured Shang Hang. At the Shenbing Academy, Du Zixuan, Mu Feiwei, Qin Zhanfang and Sha Liu took Yang Qiqi and the almost demented Cheng Hong away. Of course, the key thrown to Cheng Hong before was naturally taken back by Lu Ning. When Qin Zhanfang and his party left in the teleportation array, only two daughters, Lu Ning and Xiao Yang, remained in place. The scene was a little awkward for a while. This kid is indeed a monster. It's good or bad to have a good relationship with him. The voice of the remnant soul of the Holy Spirit rang in Yang Yan's heart. This remnant soul of the Holy Spirit doesn't understand the psychology of girls, and only thinks that it is a smart move for Yang Yan to take the initiative to approach people like Lu Ning. Student Yang. At this time, Xiao Xiao pursed her lips and laughed. She said softly, Student Yang knows the route of the maze, so how about asking him to go to the maze to search for possible survivors? There is a saying, only women know how to bully women. Yang Yan's upright personality is definitely no match for Xiao Xiao's. But one size counts, Lu Ning said bluntly. The survivors of the maze may not necessarily be the freshmen of the college, but they may also be other people. It is not safe for Yang Yan to go alone. Wait for me for a few hours, and then we'll go search together. Hearing this, Xiao Xiao and Yang Yan didn't speak. The two women sat beside Lu Ning, one on the left and the other on the right, keeping silent. Lu Ning sat quietly, using Lei Yanlong's mode. Of course the sequelae are huge, but the benefits are beyond words. The fusion of the two elements of thunder and fire has brought Lu Ning's magic power to a higher level. Lu Ning, who possesses the physique of a dragon slayer mage, stepped into the limit and then stood up again. The upper limit of the total amount of magic power broke through 300,000 in one breath. Yes, Lu Ning, Tier 6. In less than a month since he came to this world, he has grown from a weak chicken to a 6th-level magician. A few days ago, with the opening of the key cemetery of the Five Elements Maharaja, the vision of heaven and earth gathered by the five elements caused a lot of movement, which attracted the attention of some powerful people in the world of the Ruins continent. If it is an ordinary time, when encountering such an incident, it is natural to avoid it as much as possible. But this time there are Yun Jianming and Yin Tongchen, the vice presidents of the college, the 9th level grade magisters. The vice president of the college can't be made by relying on relationships or character, but must have the ability to absolutely convince the public. The strength of these two vice presidents is definitely well known among the 9th level grade magisters. Therefore, when the two bosses were investigating the surrounding area, they had been guarding the entrance and exit of the wood secret realm. And at this time, the entrance to the secret realm that had been suddenly closed suddenly shone brightly again, and a group of people were seen coming out of it one after another. There used to be some people from the two schools here. At this time, the expressions of the people who saw it, including the two big bosses, suddenly sank. The two colleges combined, only 10 people. Dean. After Qin Zhanfang and others came out, they couldn't help feeling a little excited when they saw the vice presidents of each family. Treat Shanghang first. Vice President Young walked up to Shanghang, whose injury had started to deteriorate, and began to treat him. Next to him, Vice President Yin also began to treat his injured Tianzhao. The atmosphere seemed a little heavy for a while. After receiving the treatment, Yun Jianming asked in a deep voice, "What the hell happened inside?" "Let me tell." The eldest lady of the Huang Empire, Mu Feiwei, took the initiative to take the conversation. She then eloquently said, "The secret realm we entered at the beginning was not in any danger. There are a large number of wood-type magic vegetation in it. The two colleges have divided the search area tacitly, and there is no direct conflict on the way. After we searched out the benefits of the secret territory, we were about to leave the secret realm, but we were delayed for some time because of Cheng Hong's words. As a result, because of this time, an unstoppable change happened in the secret territory, and the elements in the entire secret territory, all the power was exhausted, and we were teleported to another place in an instant, suspected to be an underground cemetery. It's not just us who were sent, but also the demon race, flying feather race, pyroxene race, and another group of human mages from the ruins continent. There are 5 camps in total, and the overall strength of our two colleges is the weakest. We broke out fighting and lost a lot of people in the first place." Lu Ning made a move. He sneaked up on other people in the 4 directions, causing them to be hostile, but also bought us time to escape. We left that black stone hall and came to the labyrinth. In the maze. After leaving the maze, he was forcibly teleported again and entered a closed hall with a coffin. Opening the coffin requires 5 high-level elemental magic talents, and they must correspond to the 5 elements. Lu Ning and Yang Yan are ready to open the coffin with others. In the end, Lu Ning found out Cheng Hongyugi, and killed everyone except us with absolute strength, making us escape from the trap. Then, we left the coffin hall and saw that the teleportation array had been triggered. We took the teleportation array and chose the secret realm of wood, and then left the secret realm. Miss Mu spoke slowly, but clearly. Just by listening to her description, the observers can clearly compose the entire management process of the matter. While she spoke, the others remained silent. It's just that when it comes to Lu Ning, they all show admiration. After Yun Jianming and Yin Tongchen finished listening, they couldn't help but look at each other, their faces full of astonishment and astonishment. The two big brothers were dumbfounded. The secret realm moved, and they could guess that a deeper secret realm must have been triggered. It is not unheard of for the Blue Star humans to explore the relic continent, such as nesting dolls in the secret realm. But what happened to Lu Ning? It was normal at first. Lu Ning took advantage of the chaotic situation and cleverly carried out sneak attacks with his own advantages, weakening the enemy's numerical advantage. That doesn't sound like an exaggeration. But in the end, how did they develop by leaps and bounds? Lu Ning alone killed everyone. Outrageous. Both Yun Jianming and Yin Tongchen saw the look in each other's eyes. Lu Ning really behaved like this? Yun Jianming asked incredulously. We are still in a daze now. Lu Ning is simply beyond my understanding of Tianzhao. His explosive power is simply too terrifying. If Lu Ning belongs to the enemy, we will definitely not be able to leave one alive. Brother Lu, Audi idol. Qin Zhanfang and others responded immediately, and when they talked about the scene at that time, they were all beaming, and all kinds of adjectives were described. Listen to their answers. The two big brothers were silent. How do you feel that you are describing a cool protagonist? Where are the Lu Ning people now? Yun Jianming asked quickly. Yin Tongchen looked at Cheng Hong, a young boy, with a gloomy expression on his face. Lu Ning took the initiative to stay and search the maze to see if there are any survivors. Qin Zhanfang replied. Yun Jianming nodded. He stopped talking, but clenched his fists involuntarily. He's a little nervous. Hearing such exaggerated descriptions about Lu Ning, Yun Jianming wished he could rush directly into the secret realm, immediately protect Lu Ning and bring him back to Tianan College. Brother Yun, you are really enviable at Tianan College. Yin Tongchen couldn't help but sigh with emotion. There were few words, but the meaning was already very clear. In Tianan College, there appeared an evildoer who was able to show a cliff-like gap even at the level of Tianzhou. After half a day, a group of people came out again from the entrance of the secret realm. But it was the two daughters of Lu Ning and Xiao Yang, plus 4 survivors, 1 from Tianan College and 3 from Shenbing College. In this way, except for Cheng Hong, Shenbing Academy lost 8 people. As for Tianan College, there are 12 people, half dead. The relatively complete corpses are 15, and the rest are horrible fragments and stumps. In addition to the 4 college survivors in the maze, there were indeed some people from other parties, but they were picked out by Lu Ning. Dean, Lu Ning was about to speak. Put aside what you want to say, and go back first. Yun Jianming waved his hand, then released the magic-powered airship, and led everyone away without stopping. In the distance, mountains and lakes. Duan Tianliu sat quietly by the lake, a stern youthful face was reflected on the calm lake. Duan Tianliu suddenly looked up. I saw a huge airship hitting and splashing a sound barrier wave at high altitude, and disappeared from sight in an instant. Failed. Duan Tianliu was stunned for a moment, as if he couldn't accept the result. On the way back to Tianan, the Blue Star Flame Empire, Yun Jianming only told Lu Ning to take a good rest, without asking anything. It was Yin Tongchen, the boss, who talked to Lu Ning from time to time. After another day and night, after several turnarounds, everyone returned to Tianan College again. Vice President Yun did not ask Lu Ning and others to hand over their income from the secret realm. Especially Lu Ning, everyone knows that he seized hundreds of storage magic items. From Yun Jianming's point of view, what he needs to do most now is to immediately summon the senior management of Tianan College to re-examine the importance Lu Ning attaches to the college. With this performance, Lu Ning's identity can not only be easily passed by the word Tianzhou. So how could Yun Jianming ask Lu Ning to hand over the spoils that he had earned so hard? Isn't this clearly pushing this kind of monstrous genius out? Yun Jianming is sure, as long as he asks Lu Ning to hand over the proceeds, then Yin Tongchen will definitely take this great opportunity to lure Lu Ning to the Huang Empire. Go back and have a good rest first, and then send someone to notify me after you have rested, and let's arrange a time to have a good chat. Yun Jianming personally sent Lu Ning back to his student villa. Dean, Lu Ning looked flattered, and then nodded heavily, okay. He had previously entered Tianan College as the #1 freshman, but he had not been received by the high-level officials in the college. Later, because of the ambushes with Kai Si and others, he was called to inquire about him, but the academy still seemed to have a stalking attitude towards him. At that time, Lu Ning was already considered a natural talent. Results now, Lu Ning's mind turned, and he didn't know what he was thinking. Because they are in different positions, there are naturally some deviations in viewing things. The academy is not ignoring Lu Ning, nor is it ignoring him. After all, a talented person is also a rare talent and will be vigorously cultivated. It's just that Tianzhou is not an ordinary key student. For Tianzhou, most forces have a stalking attitude, that is, they only provide the favorable environment they need, but they will never deliberately ask them to do something or learn anything. But Lu Ning's performance in the 5 Elements Maharaja's secret realm is really amazing. It has been so amazing that the academy has to attach great importance to it. It can't be said that there is no such thing as a genius in history, but it is also a rare existence. Yun Jianming smiled slightly, then thought of something, and whispered in his ear, the meeting and chat later will be about whether you are interested in accepting Tianan College's sequence magic. Sequence magic. Lu Ning's eyes lit up suddenly. But after thinking about it, it became clear that the deputy dean was afraid that he would be jealous of the college, so he first threw a big pie to make up for it. Students follow the arrangement of the college. Lu Ning also expressed his attitude. To him, college was more than just a shade under a big tree, more than seeking protection. It is a huge resource platform. Lu Ning needs high-level lightning-type materials. These things are not in circulation in the market, and basically they are held by big forces. So the Academy will become a channel for Lu Ning to easily obtain high-level lightning-type materials. There's nothing wrong with joining a faction, and it's not like being a dog to a faction. Lu Ning has the confidence to sign up for Golden Finger. If he is really a transmigrator without golden fingers, and he is not tough, even if he kowtows to recognize his godfather like Gao Qiqiang, he will be disgusted by others. If the Academy wanted to take advantage of him, Lu Ning would of course just run away. But if the other party voted for Dao, Lu Ning naturally also voted for Li. A win-win situation is good for everyone. When Yun Jianming heard what Lu Ning said, the smile on his face became even wider. From his perspective as the deputy dean, he can definitely guess that Lu Ning has such an amazing performance, and he must have a secret. He was afraid that Lu Ning would be afraid that the Academy coveted his secret, which would cause estrangement. It's totally unnecessary. The background of Tianan College is deeper than imagined. After some conversation, Yun Jianming left, and Lu Ning also returned to his villa dormitory, and began to count the harvest happily. First, the 5 boxes in the coffin. Now he opened them one by one, and found that the treasure contained in the box was a magic book. There are 5 magic books in total, each of which records an 8th level elemental magic. They are the 8th level gold system magic, the sword that tilts the sky. The 8th level water magic, boundless sea waves. The 8th level wood type magic, dense forest and stars. The 8th level fire magic, fallen star flame. 8th order earth magic, landslide and earth crack. Lu Ning looked at the 5 magic books and clicked his lips. Dayu, return the goods. None of them can be used by themselves. However, Lu Ning was very interested in magic books. This thing needs to be comprehended. It's not like he signed in. If you sign in, you don't have singing proficiency. If you are really interested in magic books, it is not difficult to exchange these 5 magic books for the equivalent 8th level lightning magic. Put the spellbook aside, Lu Ning began to count the harvest of a total of 256 storage props. Actually much more than that. But under Lei Yanlong's roar, most of the magic storage items were destroyed, and the contents flowed into a different dimension of void. In addition to the secret of wood, there are 4 other secret realms of elements, all of which are treasures of heaven and earth corresponding to the elements. Lu Ning started to organize. The ones of the wood department are in his hands. The college freshmen who sacrificed their storage magic items must be handed in. This is normal. For the fire system, there are 2,455 primary materials, 521 intermediate materials, and 3 high-level, 7th-level materials. For the soil system, there are 3,128 primary materials, 351 intermediate materials, and 2 high-level, 7th-level materials. For the gold system, there are 15,421 elementary materials, 1,121 intermediate materials, and 0 advanced materials. The gold series are all metal ores. The quantity is large, but the value of a single piece is average. That secret realm should be the favorite of gold miners. The last water system is Lingquan water, which is about 120 tons in tons. This kind of spiritual spring water can be used to refine magic medicine, and can also be used to irrigate and plant magic medicine. As for the quality, it is calculated in tons, and it must be elementary. Besides, there are also a large number of magic weapons and props, as well as a large number of magic potions. These are treasures. Lu Ning searched the price of corresponding materials online at the speed of light. This is a rough calculation. What he has obtained, except for the high-level materials that are not going to be sold, the others add up to a wealth of nearly 50 billion yang coins. Lu Ning was taken aback by this number. 5 billion. How many 50 does this cost? At the age of 18, with 50 billion wealth in hand, what level is it in the Shake Hands family? Lu Ning suddenly lay on the sofa. His expression froze for a moment. He originally wanted to make money slowly, and then use the Academy platform to buy high-level materials. As a result, 50 billion came all of a sudden, and he suddenly didn't know how to spend it. But what I want is still very clear. Thunder system. In addition to a part of the fire element, it must be at least the 6th level. Process the 50 billion, and then exchange specific lightning materials through the college platform or college resource channels. It is unavoidable to take the initiative to deal with the senior management of the college. Ding dong. Just thinking of this, the doorbell rang outside the villa. Lu Ning went to open the door, and when he saw someone, he couldn't help being startled. It turned out to be her. Beast ear girl, Bai Shui. Yo, great genius, long time no see meow. Bai Shui beckoned at Lu Ning cutely, and the corners of his mouth curled up habitually. Senior White. Lu Ning bowed slightly, regardless of whether the opponent is a human or a monster, the most basic respect for the strong elders is still required. A little bit differently. The last time Bai Shui came to his student's villa, he appeared directly in the living room. But this time, he rang the doorbell politely. This means that to a certain extent, Bai Shui really values himself. So a certain amount of respect will be given. Lu Ning invited Bai Shui into the living room. He then made some tea, and then got to the point, asking, Senior White came to the students, what's the matter? Of course I'm coming. The human descendants I'm looking at originally only had a little bit of expectation. When Bai Shui said, a little bit, and, a little bit, he made an insult to a certain cosmic power with his hands, posture, but it turns out that I was wrong, meow. It's really amazing. Lu Ning, who leapfrogged at the 5th order level, and can also greatly ignore the opponent's advantage in numbers. No matter how the opponent's 6th order is not the Tianjiao level, the difficulty of doing this is unimaginable. Meow. Lu Ning paused, and replied, strictly speaking, I just broke through to the 6th level at that time, and my strength has greatly increased. This even more shows how powerful you are, meow. To give up everything to fight in times of crisis, so as to successfully break through the shackles of the realm, break through and then stand up. This is completely the genius script in people's impression, meow. Bai Shui was not surprised when he heard this, but raised his eyebrows as if it was a matter of course. 18-year-old 6th tier mages are rare, but Lu Ning will never be the first, nor will he be the last. What is commendable is that while he can maintain a fast cultivation speed, he can also show a terrifying combat power far exceeding the same level. Come with me, meow, the dean wants to see you. Then, Bai Shui stated the purpose of this time. She beckoned and motioned for Lu Ning to follow her. Lu Ning thought for a while, then stepped forward to follow. The two walked to the college road. Lu Ning discovered for the first time that the architectural structure and green scenery in this college are quite artistic. In the end, I came to the library in the college. The book collection pavilion, of course, hides magic books. Academy students can come here when they want to learn new magic. Generally, magic below the 7th level can be chosen without restriction. If you want to learn high-level magic, you must apply to the academy in advance. Zangshu Pavilion has 7 floors and is a loft-style building. The dean of Tianan College usually studies magic all the year round on the 7th floor of the Zangshu Pavilion, and rarely goes out. Most of the things in the college are handed over to Yun Jianming and another deputy dean. People bring meow. Arriving at the 7th floor, Bai Shui yelled at the pile of books in front of him. After I finished speaking, I waited for about 10 seconds before the stacks of books slowly floated away, splitting and drifting towards the two sides, revealing the true face of the dean of Tianan College. It was an old lady who was less than 1.6 meters tall and looked about 90 years old. She was wearing black-rimmed glasses and was calculating something with a pen and paper in her hand. The current dean of Tianan College is named Lu Qingya, and he is the 3rd-generation dean of Tianan College. I heard that he was also a student of the 1st-generation dean. He is a student of the 1st dean Bai Ruyan. In other words, this Dean Lu is at least 300 or 400 years old. The mage stepped into a high level, the heart stepped into the magic, the life level ushered in a qualitative leap, and the lifespan was naturally greatly improved. His Majesty the 10th rank Magic Emperor of the 3 Empires has lived for more than 1,000 years, or even longer. Student Lu Ning met the Dean. Lu Ning bowed his head and saluted. Ho ho ho, good, good, a hero is a boy. Dean Lu let out a kind old man's laugh, took off his black-rimmed glasses, and showed a kind expression in his clear eyes. She then gestured for Lu Ning to sit down. When Lu Ning was about to find out where there was a seat here, a seat that was purely condensed with magic power immediately condensed behind his buttocks. After sitting down, Dean Lu got straight to the point. Deputy Dean Yun wants to hold a high-level meeting in the academy in order to discuss a reasonable plan and put you in a suitable position. Core member, he really thinks highly of you. But I prevented such a high-level meeting. The college is not as monolithic as it appears on the surface. After the high-level meeting, you should get a lot of rewards from the college, but the imposed favors are no different from the shackles. Excellent young people should use their enthusiastic hearts to make their own way, this world. After receiving the reward from the high level will ask you to do things in the future. If you don't want to, they will doubt your loyalty to the academy. There are quite a lot of such guys. When Dean Lu said this, he looked up. Lu Ning followed her gaze, and there were 2 pictures hanging there, each leading the first Dean Bai Ruyan. Bai Ruyan's portrait is a beautiful picture of a young girl. The young girl in the painting looks aloof and arrogant, and the corners of her mouth are slightly curved, revealing an extremely strong self-confidence. The other portrait is a middle-aged man with a stern expression, who is the second-generation academy, Wu Tiankai, who doesn't have a strong sense of presence. The lack of presence is not because the dean is not strong, but because he has only been the dean for 10 years, and then he took the initiative to step back from Lu Qingye. The idea behind the founding of the academy by the first dean is that there is no discrimination in teaching, so that anyone can have the opportunity to become a mage, so that geniuses can fully display their talents, instead of consolidating power and making geniuses a tool for their own profit. Such a concept is still being chanted loudly, but few are actually implemented. Student Lu Ning, you are worth looking forward to. Bai Shui said that you have transformed, and the most obvious thing is confidence. The confidence to believe in your own strength. This is very good, just go on like this. Hearing this, Lu Ning couldn't help but glanced at the animal ear girl next to him in surprise. What this beast ear girl pays attention to is not her talent and magic ability moves, nor the talent and wisdom revealed in the battle, but confidence. But then again, it does seem to be the case. After the end of the dungeon of the 5 elements Maharaja sequence magic inheritance, Lu Ning has indeed established the belief that he is invincible at the same level. It's just that he himself hasn't noticed such a change yet. Lu Ning was lost in thought. Zishanliu theory. The belief of being invincible at the same level is the highest standard for flaunting Tianzhao. Chapter 51. Lu Ning lowered his head and pondered, wondering why the dean emphasized the aspect of faith. You haven't dealt with high-level magic yet, have you? Dean Lu continued to ask. Lu Ning nodded naturally. Magic above the 7th level is called high level, let alone dealt with it, he has never seen it before. Although the city lord of the frontier city had acted in front of him before, it was obviously only a means of gathering magic power, and did not use high-level magic. Stepping from the 6th level to the 7th level, in addition to the magic power, you must also condense the spiritual imprint, meow. Shall I let you feel it now, meow? Bai Shui winked at Lu Ning. Please. Lu Ning's expression was solemn, and he prepared a posture of preparation. Seeing this scene, Dean Lu pushed his glasses on the bridge of his nose, but said nothing. That triple magic array mountain of corpses and sea of blood. Roar. Suddenly, the cute animal girl in front of Lu Ning's eyes instantly transformed into a white tiger holy beast with a size of more than 100 meters, and the white tiger roared ferociously at him. At this moment, Lu Ning's whole expression became extremely horrified, as if he had fallen into an ice cellar. Every pore of his body was soaked in endless cold air. No, it wasn't cold air, it was murderous air. It was a murderous aura that went straight to the bone marrow and to the depths of the soul. The scene in front of him suddenly changed at this moment. Looking around, there is an endless river of blood under your feet, filled with a pungent bloody smell, and in the blood river, there are countless corpses of various creatures. Another mountain of corpses. Suddenly, like a breeze blowing on the face, everything disappeared and returned to its original appearance. The clothes on Lu Ning's back were already soaked, and the cold sweat on his back was still flowing unconsciously at this moment, and there were still some goosebumps all over his body. It seems that at this moment, Lu Ning finally understood why this cute girl with animal ears was called Bai Shui. Didn't the innumerable corpses in the illusion come out of illusion, and they were all killed by Bai Shui, the beast's mother? What do you feel? Meow. Will, that's not bad, meow. I thought that 1% of my murderous intent could put you in a state of mental disorder for a period of time. I didn't expect you to recover so quickly. Only 1%. That's right, meow. Now I can conclude that you are special, but he is also very special, meow. Murderousness is also one of my means of attack. Bai Shui seemed very pleased with Lu Ning's reaction. Her murderous aura can be said to be a kind of spiritual attack magic. Just now it was just for Lu Ning to feel it, not to attack, otherwise Lu Ning's spirit would have collapsed long ago. Returning to the topic just now, the magic cast by the high-level magister will have a certain self-will under the premise of the spiritual imprint. For magisters of the same level, both cast the same magic, and whoever has the stronger will obviously have slightly stronger magic power. Of course, the most powerful part of the spiritual imprint lies in the connection. Lu Ning also didn't realize that Bai Shui didn't use the word meow anymore, but asked, connection. That's right, have you ever seen a mage who casts multiple spells at the same time? Ah, not really. Lu Ning was startled. Even if it is him, when he uses the moves he signed in, he takes turns, not all at the same time at one time. It's just because he has no proficiency in singing, so the speed of continuous casting is very fast, it looks like casting at the same time. Senior White means, well, after condensing the spiritual imprint, there will be a certain series of magic power itself, allowing you to cast multiple magic spells at the same time, and the power will be greatly improved. This is also the reason why high-level mages crush mid-level and low-level mages. Just now I cast the triple magic, with my murderous aura as the main body, and added 3 other 6th-order magics to form a triple magic circle. Speaking of which, Bai Shui raised his cute chin slightly, and said proudly, by the way, the limit of his magic is the 9-fold magic, meow. So, faith is very important. It doesn't just refer to self-confidence. The stronger the belief, the stronger the spiritual imprint you will condense. It's just that the most intuitive way to improve your belief is to forge self-confidence. There are still rare talents like you in the world. Let me give you a suggestion. Start from Tianan province, challenge the mages of the same level all the way, and by defeating them, let your belief in invincibility at the same level continue to increase, and so on. If you become the first person in the true sense below the 7th level, your belief will definitely be stronger than your imagination. If you lose halfway, it can only show that you are not the strongest, that's all. Lu Ning rolled his eyes when he heard this. What path to take is Lu Ning's own choice, and you should not interfere. At this time, Dean Lu interrupted Bai Shui. HMPH, are you going to talk about your theory again? Your most respected and beloved teacher also followed this path. Bai Shui frowned, and glared at Dean Lu with a small face. Lu Ning had a strange face. She dared to show embarrassment to the dean. This girl with beast ears, under the cute appearance is super contrasting fierceness. Maid, I like it more, grass. It's too hard to break. Others' evaluations are just evaluations after all. The invincible belief is too vague. Dean Lu sighed. She went on to say, this trip to the secret realm, you should have a lot of things that you need to deal with urgently. Take this opportunity to take out all the unnecessary things, and I will help you deal with them or exchange them. It's Dean Lao. Lu Ning was overjoyed when he heard this. Immediately took out the unnecessary materials of various departments and some despised magic weapons and props. I want to exchange high-level lightning materials. My physique is very special and I can pass. I see. Dean Lu interrupted Lu Ning. Lu Ning originally wanted to explain that he has a special physique, and can absorb the magic power of detoxification elements through devouring, especially the thunder element. As a result, the dean didn't seem to care at all, or did she already see it? He thought about it, and then stopped thinking about it. I'm a kid who has only lived less than 20 years old, and I try to figure out the old monsters that have been around for hundreds of years. Isn't that purely self-righteous? The deal is done. This is exactly what he wanted most. After Dean Lu made an inventory, pointing to the materials that Lu Ning took out, he said, the total value is 40.7 billion yang coins. Lu Ning nodded. This estimate was within his acceptable range. He also left some materials as a share for the 3 of Xiao Xiao. In addition, after all, the online price is the selling price, not the purchase price. They have a brand premium effect. Lightning materials. The 8th level is very difficult, but the 7th level, the academy has some reserves. The dean made up his mind. Dean Lu hummed lightly when he heard the words. Then she directly took out 10 pieces of 7th level lightning type materials, all of which were the magic cores of 7th level lightning type monsters. In addition, there are 196th order lightning materials, which are quite rich. There are monster cores, and some rare materials and elixir for special monsters. This is a very reasonable price. After all, high-end materials have a price but no market. Dean Lu didn't carry so many 6th order lightning type materials with him. She said she needed to give her some time to collect them, which would only take a day or two. And this. Dean Lu took off the black glasses on the bridge of his nose, and also took out a red bracelet. The bracelet is a fire element ring, a kind of magic item elemental ring, the 7th level, which can store the magic power of the fire element. I think you should need this. As for this glasses, it has the effect of concentrating one's mind, and can also defend to a certain extent against spiritual magic and curse magic attacks, and can also see through some illusion magic. This is a gift that Lu Qingye, as the dean of the college, simply bestows on outstanding students. Lu Ning quickly thanked them respectfully, and then accepted the 2 magic items. You can go back first. Dean Lu then smiled kindly at Lu Ning. The latter left the Zangshu pavilion respectfully. How about when he was younger than the teacher? After Lu Ning left, Lu Qingye asked Bai Shui next to him. Hearing the words, Bai Shui sneered and said, It's far worse than Bai Ruyan. At his age, Bai Ruyan is already at the 7th level. Lu Qingye was silent for a while, and murmured a little, Teacher, can you also rise from the 3rd level to the 6th level within a month? Quote! These words made Bai Shui's tiger's eyes shrink suddenly. But then he turned his head away and pouted. Dean, there is one more thing. Lu Ning went back and forth. Half a day later, Lu Ning returned to his villa dormitory. In the living room, Xiao Xiao, Yang Yan and Yu Xiaobai were sitting on the sofa. The 4 8th level magic books, as the spoils of your previous actions, each of you can choose one, and you can have the right to learn directly. But, to really learn the 8th level magic above, you need to apply to the academy. In addition, some materials here, you can share equally. Lu Ning looked at the 3 of them and said so. 5 8th level magic books. Tianan Academy has mastered 4 kinds of 8th level magic recorded in them, only the wood type 8th level magic dense forest stars does not. As for the 8th level magic, Lu Ning can exchange it with Dean Lu for 3 pieces of 8th level lightning materials, but there are no materials at present, and Dean Lu will help him collect them immediately. Lu Ning kept the other 4 8th level magic books. But it is very difficult to sell this thing, and it will be restricted by the Magic Association. The Magic Association prohibits the circulation of high-level magic in the market, so as not to be used by illegal magic associations. The restrictions of the Magic Association may sound unreasonable, but their president, the 10th level Magic Emperor, the Star Emperor, probably won't reason with you. So Lu Ning used it to make choices for the 3 people in front of him. If you want to learn high-level magic from the academy, you need a considerable amount of contribution. Lu Ning directly presented the learning authority, which he discussed with Dean Lu. As for the other materials, if you want to improve Xiao Xiao and the others now, of course you should give them what should be given. I don't know how long it will take until they are able to learn 8th level magic. How could Lu Ning use a learning authority to draw a big cake to offset their previous contribution to fighting him together? It's disgusting to think about such a degrading thing. Xiao Xiao's spiritual magic, Yu Xiaobai's magical talent, and Yang Yan's pure fire magic power are all very important in the 5 elements Maharaja Key graveyard. Good. Yu Xiaobai was not polite either, and chose the 8th level magic of the gold system with a smile. Yang Yan is naturally a fire element. And Xiao Xiao looked at Lu Ning with deep meaning, and said, I don't want study rights or materials, can you do something for me in the future? Don't worry, it is within your ability and will not it violates your principles of doing things. Lu Ning couldn't help being taken aback when he heard this. Yu Xiaobai was thoughtful and seemed a little annoyed why he hadn't thought of this aspect. Yang Yan has already started to choose the fire material in front of him. Is my favor worth so much? The materials I gave you must be worth at least 1 billion. You just say yes or no. Xiao Xiao gave Lu Ning a white look. Just this once. Lu Ning thought for a while, then agreed. This woman is really smart. But he is also very happy. At the same time, College Square. Didn't you say you were going to Lu Ning's place? Why did you come to the square suddenly? Xu Meimei looked at Kai Si and asked in confusion. I heard that Lu Ning once again shined in the secret trial organized by the academy, and he is still at the 6th level. 6th level, 18-year-old 6th level. Sure enough, the man Xu Meimei likes is not that simple. I'm going to find Lu Ning. Kai Si looked at Xu Meimei, and replied angrily, I'll talk about Lu Ning later. At this time, many college students gathered in the college square. And most of them are senior students, only a few freshmen come to join in the fun. And in the middle of the crowd was a young man with a handsome face. This young man has a lot of background. He is one of Tian'an College's arrogance last year, a public cultivator. If it's just Tianzhao who is 1 year older, then it's actually okay. But in fact, Gong Shoujun's fame includes the 3 great empires. The reason lies in last year's Tianzhao competition. The 3 great empires will hold a Tianzhao contest every 20 years. The contestants have 2 conditions, under the age of 20, and a 5th level mage. This means that last year, the 5th tier Tianzhao who participated in the Tianzhao competition came from the entire territory of the 3 empires. The Tianzhao competition is also known as the most valuable mage competition, which means competing on the same stage with the top mage geniuses of the generation. Gong Shoujun, who was known as the Blue Star last year, is the 8th place in the Tianzhao competition. Senior, what are you doing here? I don't know, I heard that they are recruiting a team to explore opportunities in the Ruins continent. Senior, I can still vividly remember his performance in the Tianzhao competition last year. The gravity magic in one hand is simply too perverted. It's okay, it's only the 8th, and this year's Lu Ning is even more evil. He stepped into the 6th level at the age of 18, and he can kill dozens of mages of the same level by himself. Oh, you heard that too? Of course, how can this news be concealed? If it weren't for Lu Ning, a total of 40 geniuses and 6 geniuses from Tian'an College and Shenbing College would have fallen this time. Lu Ning, bull, I didn't expect him to have stepped into the 6th level. He can really hide. Isn't it very valuable to hide? This time, he can pretend to be there. I don't know how much benefit he can get from the academy. Quote. Hearing the person in front of him talk about the name, Lu Ning, wantonly in front of him, Gong Shoujun's expression didn't change much. Senior, who do you think is stronger, you or Lu Ning? There is no shortage of people with good things and rhythm, so someone asked loudly. Gong Shoujun let out a laugh when he heard the words. These people don't seem to understand the intensity of the Tianzhao competition and the difficulty of entering the top 10 in the true sense. Then he raised his hand and said, Lu Ning, not bad. Gong Shoujun's tone was understated, as if he was describing an ordinary thing. And the strong self-confidence revealed in this indifferent tone seems to have evolved into a special aura invisibly. The people around were silent for a while. The person who just spoke out with the rhythm had a sullen expression on his face, and left here secretly. Seeing everyone's reaction, Gong Shoujun clapped his hands and said loudly, This time I called everyone to come here, because my father, Shoujun, wants to form a team. Many of you must be aware of the existence of the Relic Continent world. The Relic Continent has an extremely vast territory, and there are countless places of opportunity, such as secret lands and places of inheritance. My Blue Star Mage has been devoted to exploring the Ruins continent for hundreds of years. Just recently, a man-made secret realm appeared in the Ruins continent. It is the largest secret realm discovered so far. That secret realm is vast, and the latest news is that it covers nearly 100 million square kilometers. When it comes to this, everyone's eyes widened suddenly, and they couldn't be more shocked. Nearly 100 million square kilometers of secret world. This is huge. Before that, the largest secret realm was only 1 million square kilometers, and with the ability of a mage, it could be explored in a few days. This is big news. Why haven't I heard of any new discoveries in the Ruins continent? The public senior is the pride of heaven, with a wide network of contacts, and has been wandering in the Ruins continent. Who are you? As expected of a talented person, generally speaking, the Tianan Guild should be responsible for this kind of exploration, but the public senior can form a team in his own capacity and the guild can acquiesce. Wait, since it's such a vast secret realm, what's the matter with us? Is it possible that we, mages below the 7th level, are going to wrestle with those high-level mages? After the shock, everyone discussed with each other. And Gong Shoujun said again. The upper limit of the team I want to form is 20 people, and the level requirement is level 6. If you are good at auxiliary magic, then you can be level 5. The team I formed will be recognized by the Tianan Guild, and the income in the secret realm will not be given to the guild, and the exploration income will be distributed reasonably according to their respective efforts. In addition, this large secret realm is restricted to the entry of magisters above the 7th level. As soon as these words came out, people who had no interest at all suddenly became excited like chicken blood. Restricted entry to level 7. It actually restricts access to the 7th level, and it is still such a large secret realm. This means that even a 5th order mage may hope to try his luck. Wrong. Some people suddenly realized something. Restricting access to the 7th level means that the secret realm will be the home field of the top 6th level mages. Gong Shoujun was able to get the 8th place in the Tianzhou competition, and now he is also at the 6th level, and his combat power is definitely at the top of the 6th level. In addition, there are still some old guys who are stubbornly stuck in the 6th to 7th order and unable to break through, but they have been invading in the 6th order for an unknown number of years, and their combat power should not be underestimated. Public cultivation only needs to be at the 6th level. This means that his eyes will not be on the freshmen, which is why there are so many senior students in the cultivation square. Okay, I'll join. A third-year senior immediately agreed. Count me in too. I have to think about it. Gradually, some people believed in Gong Shoujun's character and Tianan Guild's credibility, and chose to join Gong Shoujun. Don't worry, I will leave Tianan City in 3 days. During this period, I will have a good discussion with the seniors and classmates who are willing to be teammates. Getting to know each other is also indispensable for the team. What Gongsho really meant was that he had to look at his strength. His strength couldn't meet his expectations, and he couldn't be satisfied with only the 6th level. This is entirely to build a Tier 6 elite team. Diversity and functionality should also be paid attention to in terms of magic that each teammate is good at. It's a pity, if I'm Tier 5, I should be able to join such a team. Behind the crowd, Kai Si said something regretful. Shu Meimei patted Kai Si's head lightly, and said, "Stupid. The public schoolmaster is 6th level, and Lu Ning is also 6th level. Let Lu Ning take us there. Lu Ning is so strong, and he will definitely protect him." When Kai Si heard this, she glanced at Shu Meimei with complicated eyes. If only I could be as naive as you. What are you kidding? Let Lu Ning take them to explore the secret place. Even if Lu Ning agrees, he has to weigh whether he has the qualifications. What naivety. I'm smart, but not everyone is qualified to hold Lu Ning's thigh. Shu Meimei smiled slyly. Kai Si stroked her forehead and was speechless. You're one of those people who doesn't have the right to hold a thigh. You're kind of self-aware, you idiot. It's not fun here, let's go find Lu Ning. Shu Meimei then pulled Kai Si and left the training square. Lu Ning here. He was standing at the door watching Xiao Xiao and the three of them, when he saw Shu Meimei and Kai Sichia jogging over happily. When Xiao Xiao and the others saw Shu Meimei's second daughter, they had some reactions. Yu Xiaobai smiled lightly in his heart, feeling that Lu Ning was indeed destined for the opposite gender, and then he left without hesitation. Xiao Xiao stopped to look at the two girls over there for a while, especially staying on Kai Si for a while. Although Kai Si did not reach the level of Tianzhou, she was still considered special. After all, a natural auxiliary magic talent is extremely rare. Once it grows up, its role is needless to say. As for Shu Meimei next to her, Xiao Xiao only thought that this girl was a blind nympho, not worth mentioning. Yang Yan glanced at Lu Ning, then at Kai Si's second daughter, and walked away without knowing what was going on in her heart. Why don't you go? Lu Ning asked Xiao Xiao, who was still not leaving. Xiao Xiao pursed her lips and was about to turn around and leave. But at this moment, her phone rang. Almost at the same time, Kai Si's phone rang. Come in, I just have something to ask you. Lu Ning waved at Shu Meimei. He then walked into the living room without hesitation. Lu Ning, I heard that in order to protect the other students of the academy, you fought with nearly 100 aliens by yourself in the secret realm, and defeated them all. You were really amazing. Hee hee. As soon as Xu Meimei entered the living room, she was very excited and talked to herself. Lu Ning looked at the girl in surprise. It was the first time he had seen someone show such obvious admiration for him. The strength on the opposite side is a bit weaker, and the help of Xiao Xiao and the others is also very important. Lu Ning said modestly, Hey, can you tell me about the situation at that time, please? Xu Meimei put her hands together and made a request. Nah. Lu Ning couldn't help but complain in his heart. All right. Anyway, since he had nothing to do, Lu Ning was going to polish up his original performance a little bit. Aha! Xu Meimei sat down obediently, staring at Lu Ning expectantly with a pair of smart eyes. That direct and sincere gaze made Lu Ning feel a little embarrassed. The situation at that time was very urgent. The 3 foreign races and the other party's blue star power mage. However, as soon as the opening remarks were prepared, Xiao Xiao and Kai Si walked into the living room quickly. Lu Ning, there is a big event. The whole blue star has been shocked. Xiao Xiao shook her mobile phone. What big event? The largest large-scale secret realm has been discovered so far in the Ruins continent. There is an announcement about this secret realm on the official website of the Magic Association. After finishing speaking, he handed his mobile phone to Lu Ning. Lu Ning took the opportunity. #72 Tianju Secret Realm #. On the top is such a title. The large-scale secret realm named 72 Heavenly Pillar Secret Realm was constructed by sequence magic and 72 pillar barriers. Breakthrough is also weak. And this sequence magic also has a characteristic. There are a total of 72 pillars, and each pillar can be used as an entrance to enter the enchantment. The most troublesome thing is that the 72 pillars of heaven do not restrict the entry of creatures below the 7th level at all, and there are no obvious racial restrictions. It also means that apart from the blue star humans, the 6th order alien races of other races on the Ruins continent can also enter. This is not the most important. After all, in the eyes of Mage Blue Star, the continent of the ruined world itself can be said to be a secret world, and it is not afraid to compete with other races. The key is, someone has already returned from the preliminary exploration of the 72 Heavenly Pillar Secret Realm, and brought back a message. There is a sequence of magic inheritance in the secret realm of the 72 Heavenly Pillars, and there is more than one. Seeing Lu Ning finish reading, Xiao Xiao hastily added. That's all the information on the association's official website, but my father just told me that the 72 Heavenly Pillar Secret Realm involves the secret of the disappearance of human mages in the world of the Ruins continent, and there exists a Tianju King's court there. After saying this, Kai Si suddenly became a little anxious. She was about to say something, but Xiao Xiao preempted it. This kind of in-depth information was also told to Kai Si by the elders behind her. If Lu Ning was informed immediately, the relationship between the two parties would certainly be deepened. Kai Si is somewhat snobbish in seeing people and doing things. This has something to do with the environment in which she grew up. She was instilled with the idea of who should be friends with and who should not waste time getting in touch. She didn't dare to shake face at Xiao Xiao. One is because the latter is a proud person, and the other is because the latter's family is the Xiao family, the governor of Tianan province. In the Tianan province of the Yan Empire, apart from Tianan College and Tianan Guild, the Xiao family has the greatest influence. The guild will send me to explore this secret place. Lu Ning frowned after hearing this. He has never accepted the guild's favor. In fact, there is a small episode. Lu Ning and Yang Yan signed up to join the Tianan Association before, but before the unified examination, Lu Ning received a text message saying that he was not favored by the Tianan Association. After that, he entered Tianan College as the first freshman. Immediately, I received another text message from the Tianan Association, saying that it was a mistake in the previous review, and the person in charge had been punished accordingly, and congratulated Lu Ning on his achievements and a polite word of encouragement with you in the future. From then on, Lu Ning knew that Tianan Guild was snobbish and flexible. Although Tianan Guild and Tianan College are a combination of interests, they are managed separately. In contrast, Tianan College gave him a much better sense, full of affection. No, Xiao Xiao shook her head, and then said in surprise, aren't you interested? Although Tianan College also has sequence magic, this kind of magic also needs to be adaptable, so it may not be suitable for you. The implication is that it is unexpected that Lu Ning has little sense of pursuit of sequence magic. Not much interest. Lu Ning shrugged. He is indeed not very interested, but it cannot be said that he has no interest in sequence magic. Have a thought. It's just that I just got a batch of lightning-type materials, and I'm preparing to retreat for a while to improve myself. Okay, then I'll leave first. Seeing this, Xiao Xiao took back her mobile phone and left the villa dormitory with her long legs. Go on, when? Lu Ning looked at Xu Meimei, and then continued the topic just now. Kai Si sat down slowly, gradually calmed down the wave of Wang Qian's in her heart, and patiently listened to Lu Ning bragging. When she heard the climax, she couldn't help but widen her eyes, as if she was actually there. Well, that's how it was. Now I'm going to ask you two a few things. After Lu Ning finished speaking, he mentioned the incident of being ambushed before, and asked whether the academy had found the result of the investigation. The result is no result. After that, the academy conducted a careful investigation. The 5 people at that time, Kai Si, Xu Meimei, Tang Xuan, He Lin, and Lin Zhou, had no problems, and there was nothing that the Cage Guild could covet. This made Lu Ning puzzled. Everyone is fine. Is there a possibility that there is something wrong with me? I knew I would have saved my life back then. Lu Ning regretted a little, and it involved himself, so he kept this matter in his heart. After continuing to chat for a while, Lu Ning issued an order to evict the guest. Lu Ning, how about taking a photo together? Xu Meimei wanted to take a photo with Lu Ning before leaving. At the moment, the 3 simply took a group photo. Good guy. Lu Ning clearly saw that Xu Meimei immediately posted this photo on Moments with the title, Guess Who He Is? Show teeth, show teeth, show teeth. This made Lu Ning dumbfounded. Xu Meimei looked like a little girl. Lu Ning, are you really not planning to go to that secret realm? Kai Si asked at this time. There may be plans, but not now. Gu. Lu Ning replied ambiguously. He will put the improvement of his own strength first, rather than simply chasing adventure and exploration. After sending the second daughter away, Lu Ning walked into the basement practice room of the villa, and began to take out a piece of 7th order lightning material. He stared at the lightning material for a while, then swallowed it in one gulp. The sensation caused by the blue star where the 72 Tianju secret realm is located is unprecedented. Whether it is the 3 major empires or the mages of some other small countries, they all fell into a strange state of turmoil during this period. Speaking of sequence magic, the best inheritance sequence magic is below the 7th level, but above the 7th level is also possible, but it seems that the effect is not as good as below the 7th level. In addition, sequence magic is called in modern times, and in ancient times it was called forbidden magic. There are also many kinds of sequence magic, and there are also many forms, and it is not limited to the concept of magic. It may be an item. It may be simply a kind of magic with extremely exaggerated power. It may also be a kind of inheritance. The taboo magic that can be passed on is called sequence magic. It is said that if one wants to become a magic emperor of the 10th rank, one must create a sequence of magic that can be inherited. For most middle and low-level mages, sequence magic is unattainable. It represents strength and status, only big forces are eligible to possess it, and only immortal geniuses can be selected as inheritors. But now, a huge opportunity is in front of him. Below the 7th rank, all mages can enter the secret realm of 72 pillars, which means that even low-level mages of the 3rd rank can go in and fight for a chance with their lives. Rationally speaking, going to the 3rd level would be a death for nothing, but not everyone can maintain their rationality. The wages of avarice is death. Some people are not afraid of death, but of not having a chance. Once they are lucky to become the inheritors of sequence magic, there will inevitably be big forces vying to win them over to be guests, and their own strength and status will rise with the tide. Hot knowledge. There are precedents of low-level mages discovering sequence magic in secret realms and being selected for inheritance. Not to mention some veteran 6th order mages who have been stuck in the 6th order for several decades. Middle and low-level mages account for the largest number of blue star mages. Therefore, the appearance of the 72 heavenly pillars' secret realm would seem to be a life-threatening carnival. Blue Star's major guild swarmed. The well-known Sixth Order mage became the sweet pastry that the big forces suddenly wooed. There are even more powerful forces that publicly promise that whoever can obtain the sequence magic will immediately become the core high level of their forces, and so on. The Magic Association even bluntly stated that anyone who has evil intentions against the inheritors who have inherited the sequence magic will be chased and killed by the Magic Association relentlessly. The Magic Association seems to be promoting this point, aiming to let mages go to the secret realm of 72 heavenly pillars. But with the endorsement of the association, 577 undoubtedly makes the middle and low-level mages more motivated. Lu Ning is still not concerned about this. Swallowing high-level lightning-type materials to increase his strength every day, plus signing in to get rewards, repeat this, until the strength of swallowing lightning-type materials slows down significantly, he will end the state of retreat. On the first day of his retreat, the Tianan Guild sent people to his villa dormitory to invite him to join the guild's secret exploration team. Naturally, it was rejected. Lu Ning's retreat is to retreat during the day and rest at night. It is impossible for him to devour lightning-type materials continuously, and he also needs a buffer time. On the second day of retreat, some people gave him gifts inexplicably, and they were all famous family powers and companies in Tianan province. This gift is not for Lu Ning to explore the secret realm on their behalf, but simply to make friends and get acquainted. After all, even though the 72 heavenly pillar secret realm is now sweeping Blue Star, these family forces and companies must have a long-term vision. Lu Ning was able to become a 6th level mage at the age of 18, and showed a level of combat power far beyond the same level. If such a character does not fall halfway in the future, he will definitely have some achievements, and making friends in advance is an investment. This gift-giving went on for several days. On the third day of the retreat, 190 pieces of 6th order lightning materials that Dean Lu missed, Lu Ning were sent over. On the fourth day of retreat, the gift from the college also came, and the Vice President Yun Jianming came to send it in person. Vice President Yun wondered why Lu Ning didn't go to the secret realm of 72 Tianju. He didn't think this kind of kid would have any fear, so he wanted to come over and ask in person. And his gift is a 7th level magic weapon, a pair of pants made of special materials, and 5 kinds of 7th level lightning materials. These gifts are in recognition of Lu Ning's performance in the key tomb of the 5 elements Maharaja. Between Dean Lu and Dean Lu, it was the latter who helped Lu Ning dispose of his loot for free. The fire element ring and black glasses were gifts from Lu Qingye personally and had nothing to do with the academy. Lu Ning is now at the 6th level, and his talent is seen by the higher-ups, so he can automatically believe that the other party has the strength to use 7th level magic weapons. What kind of magic weapon would you like? The academy had already communicated to Lu Ning in advance. Lu Ning originally wanted Fang Tian's painted halberd, but it was impossible to meet the thunder element, and it happened to be Fang Tian's painted halberd magic weapon, so he chose a long spear as the next best thing. BGFA, the 7th order magic spear Urgent Thunder. It can increase the power of Lu Ning's own thunder magic by about 30%, and the material is special, weighing up to 10,000 jin. It incorporates the magic core of the 7th level thunder monster, Ji Lei Bao, and can actively cast the 7th level thunder magic, Ji Lei. Lu Ning is now at the 6th level, so it would definitely be a little tasteless if he wanted to cast Ji Lei, but there is no doubt that it is stronger than ordinary 6th level magic. Lu Ning did not choose Dao, because Dao could not take advantage of his high strength. It is impossible to give up one's own strengths for the skill of Breath of Thunder. I want special pants because Lu Ning doesn't want to wear pants after casting Sikong Zhen's big move later, it's as simple as that. When Vice President Young wondered why he didn't go to the secret realm of the 72 heavenly pillars, Lu Ning replied that he happened to have a certain aspect of epiphany, so he couldn't be distracted from others. For this reason, it was prevaricated. On the 5th day of retreat, Xu Meimei ran over and complained to him that Kai Si didn't listen to her persuasion, and wanted to go to the secret realm of 72 heavenly pillars with her family's mage. On the 6th day of retreat, it was Xu Meimei. She seemed to find that Lu Ning actually had nothing to do every night. She just lay on the sofa and watched TV and news about the secret realm of 72 Tianju, so she came here. The 7th day is also her, and the 8th day is still her. No matter how stupid Lu Ning is, he can see this obvious pursuit. This made Lu Ning very helpless, so he vaguely asked what kind of girl he liked, implying that he had no interest in the opposite gender in her, and was only suitable for being friends. Drip gave a good person card. Results on the 9th day. This girl Xu Meimei put on heavy makeup to pretend to be mature, and brought some snacks to Lu Ning, saying that she made it herself, and asked Lu Ning to taste it and give some advice, without mentioning Lu Ning's secret rejection of her yesterday. Ha ha ha. Lu Ning is numb. Although Xu Meimei was naive and childish, her makeup on the 9th day showed that she understood Lu Ning's veiled rejection. This persistent spirit made Lu Ning inexplicably interested in her. This is an interesting girl. So in the next few days, Lu Ning would practice during the day, chat with Xu Meimei at night, try her skills, and pass the boring time. As for the heavy makeup, Lu Shou told her not to wear it. 15th day. It's the upper limit so far. The materials of the 7th order lightning system have been consumed, and now Lu Ning has eaten a 6th level thunder system magic core, and finds that his own improvement has been negligible. He opened the current personal panel. Host: Lu Ning. Realm: Tier 6. Total magic power: 1.456 million. Physique: 1220. Talent: Lightning Apprentice. Ability moves: slightly. Weapon props: slightly. The total amount of magic power exceeded 1 million and approached 1.5 million. And his physique broke through 1,000, reaching the level of 1,200. The most intuitive manifestation of the enhancement of physical fitness is the improvement of strength. Lu Ning roughly estimates that his current strength can reach more than 1 million kilograms with a single arm. Just pure strength, under one blow, I'm afraid it is not weaker than ordinary 6th order magic. Not to mention that he also has the ultimate move of Sikong Gen. Once the ultimate move is activated, all aspects can be increased by 10 times, including strength naturally. If the Lei Yanlong mode is added, it will only be more exaggerated. Secondly, in terms of pure physical strength and explosive power, both have been greatly improved due to the improvement of physique. What puzzled Lu Ning was the total amount of magic power of nearly 1.5 million did not make him feel the so-called limit, and felt that he could improve a little bit more. Is it 2 million? But the 6th order materials are useless, and the 7th order lightning type materials have also been used up. Don't even think about the materials of the 8th level lightning system, Dean Lu has no idea yet. During the period, counting the day before the retreat, Lu signed in a total of 15 times. Among them, the total amount of magic power has increased the most, 7 times. Weapons and props are 3 times. The weapon is a 6th order thunderbolt. It is far inferior to the thunder gun if it is not used for hanging. The props are thunder suppressing talisman and mysterious thunder orb respectively. As the name suggests, the thunder suppressing talisman triggers Tianlei, and Xuanlei is an upgraded version of Tianlizi. Of the remaining 5 check-ins, 3 are for physical improvement, and the second are for ability moves. The ability moves are Lei Dun Leiki, and Yang Wu Lei in Under One Man. Forget about the former, a small skill. The latter involves Taoism, which is worth looking forward to, and Lu Ning is slowly thinking about it. So far, Lu Ning's half-month retreat is over, and the discussion about the secret realm of the 72 heavenly pillars is already in full swing. The version has been updated, and a large number of 6th order alien races have appeared in the secret realm of the 72 heavenly pillars. After walking out of the villa dormitory, Lu Ning realized that the college was much deserted than before. I don't know if there are many 4th order freshmen who dare to seek opportunities. Let's go to the secret realm of the 72 pillars. Lu Ning walked around the academy and made a decision in his mind. He originally planned to go to the ruins continent to experience, after this retreat and promotion, mainly to make money and search for high-level materials. Now the retreat here is over, and the strength has also been greatly improved. Since there is no tendency to step into the 7th step, it is natural to go out. Right now all eyes are on the secret realm of 72 heavenly pillars, and Lu Ning has no better choice, so of course this secret realm was finalized. But he is not going to find teammates, he can go alone. Back to the villa dormitory. At this time, there was still an hour before Xu Meimei delivered the meal. Sign in. Lu Ning saw that today's check-in had arrived, and immediately received the reward. Ding! Congratulations to the host for getting the reward from the daily check-in, the full set of General Thunder. Hiss! Lu Ning sucked in a sharp breath, and the picture of Naixiang drawing a knife appeared in his mind instantly. If it is a full set, then General Thunder's abilities and moves can grow tremendously. The identity background setting of the game characters alone is higher than that of Sikong Gen. It's just that game skills are transformed into real-world abilities and moves, and there will definitely be differences. Lu Ning hurriedly checked the complete set of General Thunder. Seeing this, Lu Ning was suddenly overjoyed. On your own personal panel, there is no talent in the column. It's just a Thunder Apprentice, but a few more talents. This is the first time Lu Ning gets the reward of talent from signing in. Talent 1. Wheel of Wishes and 100 Eyes manifested as being able to actively absorb the power of the thunder element between heaven and earth. Talent 2. Superior Armor Body, which shows that the physique immediately plus 200, and the self will be judged as a existence with a threshold, and the threshold is 100% in the full state. The threshold can be understood as the current upper limit of Lu Ning's total magic power. After exceeding this upper limit, every time it exceeds 10%, it will receive a 4% increase in lightning damage. For example, if Lu Ning uses Thunderbolt's ultimate move, the total amount of magic power will expand by more than 10 times in one breath. Although the consumption in this state is extremely exaggerated, the talent of Excellent Armor will be triggered, and 1000% means a 400% increase in the damage of the power of lightning. 4x boost doesn't seem like much. That's very high. The combat power has been quadrupled. And this is not the limit of Lu Ning. He also has Lei Yanlong mode. Now I still clearly remember that in Lei Yanlong mode, the almost inexhaustible feeling of magical power surged in his body. In that state, once the superior armor body is triggered, how many times will it increase the combat power? In addition, the talent wheel of 100 Eyes of Wishes can actively absorb the power of the thunder element between heaven and earth. It will also allow Lu Zhang to temporarily exceed the total threshold of his own magic power. Bull beep. These two talents are amazing. Lu Ning was so shocked that he didn't know how to describe his mood at the moment. As for skills, first, God changes evil Yao opens his eyes. After the game skills were realized into real moves, I saw a lot of changes. After casting the evil eye, with Lu Ning as the center, the enemies within the range will be awarded the Eye of Thunder Punishment Evil, which is equivalent to a debuff. After Lu Ning attacks the enemies within his own range, the Thunder Punishment Evil Eye will also cooperate with the attack, inflicting explosive damage within the range of the Thunder system. Second, the milk is fragrant. No, it's called Profound Truth Dream Truth. Profound Truth. Lu Ning immediately pressed his hand to his heart, but quickly moved to the location where the magic power was stored in the abdomen. Next, in an instant, his abdomen was filled with purple light, thunder surged, and a purple sword was slowly pulled out from his abdomen. At the joint between the purple thunder knife blade and the handle, 3 purple hook jades flashed. The name of this knife is One Heart of Dreams. At the moment of grasping the dream with one heart, Lu Ning had a strong thought of cutting everything in his heart. Holding the dream one heart in hand, with the intention of feeling the power, Lu Ning slashed forward lightly. Boom, bang 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 bang. However, with this knife, thousands of thunders burst out violently, and the explosion damage of thunder and lightning filled every inch of the underground training room of this villa. Just for a moment, the entire underground practice room collapsed completely, and even the villa above it also collapsed. Rumbling, a cluster of lightning rushed straight up from the ground, causing an extremely exaggerated momentum. And the momentum here has just ended not long ago. The figures of Vice President Yun and Bai Shui appeared here. No. Have you stepped into the 7th step? Vice President Yun's face was full of shock. He thought it was Lu Ning who was attacked in the courtyard, but now he saw that the raging thunder was clearly the handiwork of Lu Ning. In the collapsed villa, Lu Ning's figure gradually emerged from it. His expression was a little depressed, but more joyful. The power of Naixiang's knife is far beyond his imagination. And this is on the premise that he has not used other abilities and moves. If the firepower is fully activated, what will be the upper limit of this move? It is simply exciting. I tried a new lightning attack magic, and it seems to be far more effective than expected. Seeing Vice President Yun and Bai Shui, Lu Ning couldn't help explaining. Vice President Yun didn't know what expression to use for a moment. Bai Shui was straightforward, took a deep look at Lu Ning and then left. Several hours later, under the arrangement of Vice President Yun, Lu Ning moved into a new villa dormitory. As for Vice President Yun, he didn't mention the compensation, but only asked Lu Ning to study his thunder magic well. Lu Ning quickly said yes. After the vice principal left, he continued to delve into the technique of profound truth Mengmengzhenshuo. This trick has the effect of breaking the devil. It means that it has a restraint effect on enchantment, curse, additional magic, status magic, etc. In addition, Dream Yixin's thunder knife is condensed by his own magic power. The higher the total amount of magic power spent, the stronger the power will be. The one just now used 40% of the total magic power. That is to say, Lu Ning can send out 2 or even more Dream single-minded thunder knives from the body. It's just that it's tasteless. If the sword is drawn under the 10-fold increase of Thunderbolt, the power of dreaming one heart will definitely increase several levels. Lu Ning thought about it. Suddenly I remembered what happened in a game group I added when I was playing the game Yuanxian when I was on Earth. There is a rich buddy in the group, who basically draws cards live every few days, and spent more than 100,000 yuan to play the game of Yuanxian. Until one day, at the instigation of his friends, Brother Fu spent 10,000 yuan to find a good-looking girl who was a cosplay goddess to spend a wonderful night. Since then, Brother Fu has opened the door to a new world. His love for the paper man's wife has not disappeared, but has been expressed in another way. Brother Fu no longer deposits money in the game. He became a true, original hunter. There is one thing to say, the female character in the game of Yuanxian is indeed true. Lu Ning is thinking now. Can my cheating finger give her a living person in the real world when she signs in as a female character in the game? That's more interesting than dating. After a while, he stopped thinking about it and continued to think about the whole set of General Thunder and Lightning. Next day, Lu Ning went to meet with Dean Lu, and after learning that sequence magic did exist in the secret realm of 72 heavenly pillars, and that it had not been inherited by others, he decided to go to the secret realm. Dean Lu gave him some advice on going to the Ruins continent. The Blue Star humans discovered the Relic continent 500 years ago, so it is impossible to make no achievements in the Relic continent. For hundreds of years, the 3 great empires built 3 huge cities in the Ruins continent. Each city has a size of 1 million square kilometers. They are the Yandi city of the Yan Empire, the Huangdi city of the Huang Empire, and the Qiandi city of the Qian Empire. As a member of the Yan Empire, the place to go is of course the Yan Emperor city. Dean Lu also gave Lu Ning a token. If he encounters difficulties in the Ruins continent, he can hand the token to the Lord of Yandi City, and the other party will give her a certain degree of help for her sake. In addition, Dean Lu also told Lu Ning some secrets. It is roughly determined that the Blue Star humans are indeed the descendants of humans migrating from the Relic continent world. At this point, after preparing some prerequisites, Lu Ning left Tian'an College. Blue Star Gap enters the world of the Relic continent. On the other side of the space crack is a small town with a built-in teleportation magic circle, which can be directly teleported to the nearby Yandi city. But it needs to be charged, and the currency is not banknotes, but valuable materials, even weapons, props, and consumables. Lu Ning took out a 3rd-tier fire element material as a fee, and successfully sent it to Yandi City. Just walked out of the teleportation hall of Yandi City. Lu Ning couldn't help but stop and feel the strong atmosphere in the city. Compared with the comfort in Blue Star City, here is more indulgence and wantonness. Walking on a street in Yandi City, from time to time there are scantily clad ladies soliciting customers openly in broad daylight, and the business is still booming. There are even missionaries spreading fire. My layman, can I spare you a little time? I want to tell you about the supreme existence that our Baishan religion believes in. Get out, Lu Ning yelled at the preacher. Handsome guy, do you want to come and play? A young lady took the initiative to grab his wrist. You go too. Lu Ning pushed the little sister away and strode forward. When I came to another street, it was a new scene. The Silver Fang Guild will enter the secret realm of the 72 heavenly pillars for the 3rd time. The maximum number of people is 50, and there are still 3 people left. The minimum strength is level 5. Hurry up and get on the bus. The latest information. The latest information. The latest information about the 72 Heavenly Pillar Mystery Realm. One copy is priced at 1 million, and you can pay with flame coins or the equivalent. How can I sit idly by when alien races kill my compatriots? Come and join our alien hunting squad. We don't need any sequence magic, just go to the secret realm of 72 heavenly pillars to hunt and kill alien races, and let us show off the prestige of our human race. This is a reward. The target is the 6th level. In the secret realm of the 72 pillars, kill my young master. The reward is 3 billion yang coins. Anyone who is interested will come to the Yanlong bar at 10 o'clock tonight. Quote. Lu Ning crossed this street and came to the 3rd street. He wants to buy a map to go to the secret realm of 72 heavenly pillars here. And this street is also the most prosperous, Yandi Street, in Yandi City. The only rule in Yandi City is that no fighting is allowed in the city, and those who violate it will be punished without mercy, but other than that, everything seems to be indulgent, and there is no law at all. On Yandi Street, Lu Ning saw a team of mages auctioning off slaves. It was a girl from the demon tribe, and demon tribe women were the most popular slave auctions. At this time, the bidding price has reached 30 million yan coins. Both sides of the street are full of trading shops. To Lu Ning's surprise, he even saw the shops of the Black Underworld Chamber of Commerce in the underground black market in the frontier city. Lu Ning randomly entered a shop and bought a map for 100,000 yang coins. Afterwards, I went to 2 other houses and also bought a map to the secret realm of 72 Tianju. After a comparison, there is no obvious difference, that is, they simply left Yandi City and headed towards the secret realm of the 72 Tianju according to the map. The means of transportation he uses is the 6th order, magic flying boat. This is the youth version of the magic power airship, which needs to actively add Warcraft magic core or elemental crystals. The maximum flight speed can reach 5 times the speed of sound, and the market price is generally around 100 million yang coins. With this flying boat, Lu Ning greatly reduced the time required for traveling. But the ruins continent is extremely vast, and it still took Lu Ning nearly 4 days to reach the destination without the teleportation array. 72 Tianju Secret Realm. There are 72 heavenly pillars, each of which is the entrance to the secret realm, and they are separated by extremely long distances. The Yan Empire called the Tianju closest to Yandi City the number 1 Tianju. Lu Ning came to know 1 Tianju. This is a huge stone pillar located 1,000 meters underground, with a length of 1,000 meters and a width of several hundred meters. At the bottom of the stone pillar, there is obviously a door entrance. The 72 Heavenly Pillar Secret Realm does not seem to restrict outside access, and there is no restriction at the entrance of this door either. It's just that once any creatures above the 6th level want to enter it, they will be rejected, and they can't do it by force. After all, the 72 pillars are taboo magic. At this time, beside the entrance of the door, there are many mages. Some of them seemed to have just come out of it, and they were not seriously injured, while others were just some idle people who were not planning to enter the secret realm, but wanted to obtain information or purchase income from the people who came out. Of course, there are also some high-level magisters. Lu Ning entered the door very naturally. He is alone, not a team, so he is naturally eye-catching, and he is not the only one who can enter the secret realm. Lu Ning entered the secret realm of the 72 heavenly pillars. As if passing through the gate of water ripples, the scene in front of him is completely new, but it is a deserted night island. There are obvious traces of civilization in this secret territory. It was night, and what Lu Ning saw in his eyes was a dilapidated city ruin, collapsed statues, crumbling buildings, ground covered with weeds and moss, etc. Lu Ning looked up. A new moon hung in the sky. Rather than saying that this is a secret realm, it is better to say that this is a small world created by humans. Although it is small, it has all internal organs. Lu Ning took out the magic flying boat again. This is near the entrance. The ones that should be explored have already been taken first, and I will not stay here to waste time. He rode a magic flying boat, deliberately controlling the speed. Looking forward from a high altitude, one can vaguely see the outlines of some palace complexes, presumably they are the Tianju Royal Court, mentioned by Xiao Xiao earlier. Both were half a month behind the others, so Lu Ning naturally wasn't in a hurry. Therefore, before going to the central area of Tianju World, he landed in the ruins of a super large city halfway. The ruins of this city are no smaller than Tian'an City. Even though it has been eroded by the years, it can still vaguely see its former glory. Lu Ning took off the black glasses given to him by Dean Liu. The black glasses also have a small function that sounds useful but is actually not very useful. Translate. It can translate ancient texts, ancient divine languages, and some foreign languages. Sounds useful, but in fact, as long as the mage wants to learn, find someone to cast a general knowledge magic on him, then he can master a lot of language knowledge in a short time. Ever since, Lu Ning walked among the ruins of the city. From time to time, he pushed the glasses on the bridge of his nose, recognized some words that he could see, and understood the meaning. But in general, there is no gain. And at this very moment, suddenly, the magic power surged under Lu Ning's feet, followed by the bright brilliance of the magic circle. Buzz. Boom. The magic power suddenly condensed into two huge arms, holding Lu Ning tightly. It's a trap. When Lu Ning was attacked by this magic trap, its magical brilliance immediately shone from different directions on all sides, and then all kinds of magic came out in response to the situation, bombarding Lu Ning indiscriminately. Ha ha ha. This is already the fourth. Things who don't know how to live or die, actually dare to come alone. I thought it was something to dare to act alone, but those people have already gone to the central area. These idiots who want sequence magic beyond their means, it's not a pity to die, it's better to take advantage of us and let their wealth become the cornerstone of our promotion. More than a dozen laughs sounded one after another. It turned out to be a bunch of bad guys who specialized in this kind of murder and robbing in the wild. You died. They approached cautiously, the explosion in front had not completely dissipated, and their vision was not very clear. Huh, why did you suddenly have a purple eye? You have it on your head too. Not good. This is marking magic. And on the heads of these dozen people, a purple eye mark appeared almost at the same time. It is the eye of thunder and evil. Call, urgent thunder. Looking at Lu Ning again, he was bathed in thunder and turned into a thunderbolt armor, with no injuries on his body. At this time, he took out the 7th level magic weapon, the thunder gun, and directed it towards the surrounding area. Sweep, clap, bang 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 bang. The magic attack that comes with the thunder gun combined with the power of the thunder punishment evil eye, the dozen or so people who were marked immediately set off the power of thunder explosions. Just for a moment, this gang of desperados who murdered and robbed their goods died just like that. What kind of rubbish is this? Lu Ning smacked his mouth and put away the thunder gun. The opponent died so simply, but it made it difficult for him to judge the real power of the thunder spear or the eye of thunder punishment. Then, Lu Ning collected all the magical storage props and items from the dead man. I seem to be doing something like killing people and stealing money. Lu Ning was stunned for a moment. I didn't care much after that. It's true that people don't get rich without evil. He made his fortune before by relying on the storage props on other people. 4. After taking away the storage magic items of the outlaws, Lu Ning glanced at the central area of Tianju World. He thought for a while, and there seemed to be some kind of guidance in his heart that made him a little vigilant. But in the end, he still drove the magic flying boat to fly there. Judging from the fact that he was ambushed and killed by desperados during his late arrival, except for the central area of Tianju World, other places must have been searched inside and out. Moreover, the magic content contained in this secret world is far inferior to the previous Wood secret world, and even inferior to the outside ruins world. Under such circumstances, trying to find some natural treasures by chance is probably just a dream come true. As the flight approaches, the outline of the palace in front became clearer. It is a group of palaces built around the royal palace, the number of which is simply astonishing, and its area is so wide that it is estimated to be equivalent to the size of a Tian'an province. What surprised Lu Ning was that the cities in other directions have already been turned into ruins and disappeared in the long river of time. However, only the palace complex directly in front is intact, as if it was newly built, but under the grandeur, it gives people a slight sense of creepiness. Gradually, Lu Ning saw some figures, and as he approached, the number of figures increased. Looking down from a high altitude, a large number of figures gathered together, discussing something with each other. It's spectacular. Is this the most mysterious time magic in magic? Strictly speaking, it is a time enchantment. So many people have been busy with for so many days, and they can't find a way to break the time barrier. Is it possible to continue doing this to waste time? In front of Tianzhu King's court, a group of people gathered together. Many of them were familiar figures to Lu Ning, obviously students from Tian'an College, and they joined forces with Tian'an Guild to participate in the exploration of the 72 pillars. As for the number of people, there are more than 200 people, and the ranks of Tier 6 account for the majority. Tier 6 is already the backbone of Blue Star. Even if it is a big force, it is impossible to casually create a Tier 6 team of thousands of people. Although Xiao Xiao is at the 5th rank, after all, she joined the Tian'an Guild team, and she is also a genius, so of course she has the qualifications. Time enchantment. When Xiao Xiao was talking with a certain senior from the guild next to her, a familiar voice suddenly came from behind her. She looked back, only to see Lu Ning falling steadily from a high altitude and standing behind her. Didn't you say you're not interested? When Xiao Xiao saw Lu Ning, she first had a happy face, and then asked with a straight face. I had an epiphany before, and now I'm out of customs, seeing that there is no news that the sequence magic has been obtained, so I came here to try my luck. Lu Ning didn't pay attention to Xiao Xiao's little emotions, but continued to say seriously. Have you ever felt a kind of dark guidance here? Guidance. A look of astonishment appeared on Xiao Xiao's face, then she shook her head and said, no. Is it only me? Lu Ning rubbed his chin subconsciously. Could it be that the inheritance in the secret territory of the 72 heavenly pillars has been waiting for the inheritor, and I am the 1 in a million inheritor of the eternal genius? Quote. Pooh. Xiao Xiao heard his muttering to himself, causing the latter to burst out laughing. You are less narcissistic. There are many strong people in this secret realm who are stronger than you. Lu Ning didn't answer, but looked forward. The entire Tianzhu royal court was shrouded in a time barrier, and everything inside presented a portrait-like still picture. He could even see some of the inhabitants inside. Among these residents, there are humans, demons, demihumans, and monsters, etc., all frozen in place as if someone pressed the pause button. To Lu Ning's horror, this time barrier will not prevent outsiders from entering Tianzhu royal court, but as long as they enter, they will also be stopped by time. This is not. A few careless cuties were frozen at the moment, and their frightened expressions seemed to be announcing some great horror. Are you Junior Lu Ning? While looking around, a greeting sounded from the side. I'm Xiao Xingyu, Xiao Xiao's big brother. I was taken care of by you before. It is a young man whose face is somewhat similar to Xiao Xiao. Xiao Xingyu and Xiao Xiao are half-brothers and sisters, and the former is also a 4th-year student of Tian'an College. Xiao Xingyu is only a key student in the academy, and cannot reach the level of Tianzhao. It is worth mentioning that, in Tian'an province, the ones below the 7th rank are the most famous and have the reputation of being the most powerful, aren't they public cultivators? Although he is 19 years old, being able to get the 8th place in the Tianzhao competition is enough to prove his combat performance in the same level. In the past year, Gong Shoujun also had many impressive achievements, which made his reputation more and more famous. They're all classmates, it should be, and without Xiao Xiao's spiritual magic, I couldn't break the situation at that time. Lu Ning smiled and shook hands with Xiao Xingyu, and replied accordingly. Xiao Xingyu is very good at talking, and after a few words, Lu Ning and him seemed to be enjoying themselves. He looked serious at the right time, and got to the point and said, Xiao Xiao is right. There are indeed many strong people here. As far as I know, there are no less than a dozen foreign races. They are all the top 6th level strongmen in their clan. And on our Blue Star side, most of the Tianzhao who have become famous by virtue of their own strength are also here. Especially, Dry Empire. Lu Ning nodded, motioning for him to continue talking. You also know that the Qian Empire shined brilliantly in last year's Tianzhao competition. The first 3 days were all from the Qian Empire, and those 3 monsters also came. Seeing that Lu Ning didn't respond, Xiao Xingyu suddenly felt that his serious tone was a bit redundant. Isn't this person nervous? That was the top 3 in the Tianzhao competition. Tianzhao contest. It can be regarded as an undisputed Tianzhao ranking list. It is held once every 20 years, and every time it is held, it means a generation of Tianjiao's strong and weak rankings. The top 3 are all Tianjiao among Tianjiao, the kind with super perverted monsters, and now it is said that they can go up to 7 steps. Xiao Xingyu doesn't think it's an exaggeration, he thinks it is within the acceptable range. Lu Ning took advantage of the situation and asked, since all these powerful people are here, are you ready to go back? How could it be possible to go back easily? The Heavenly Pillar Royal Court is big enough, and there is a lot of room for maneuvering. If you really encounter such monsters and powerful people, you just have to give in. Xiao Xingyu shook his head, his tone was very resolute, unwilling to give up even the slightest possibility of obtaining sequence magic. Lu Ning hummed, and then walked in other directions. This made Xiao Xingyu a little embarrassed. He originally wanted to invite Lu Ning to join them, but it seemed that he had expected it. I feel a little funny for no reason. I thought that in this secret realm, human mages and alien races from the ruined continent world would have already beaten you to death. Lu Ning walked in front and said something to Xiao Xiao who was following behind. If the time barrier is broken, I think the scene you mentioned will come soon. Xiao Xiaoliu frowned slightly, as if she was drawing the picture of the tragic battle in her mind. Get on the boat. Lu Ning then greeted, took Xiao Xiaofei up into the sky, and turned around the Tianju royal court. He flew very low, causing many people below to warn him with their eyes. Look over there, they are members of the Yanjing Guild of the Yan Empire. The person in the middle is called Kui Xingchen. He was ranked 5th in the Tianjiao contest last year. He is good at the beast following magic. I heard that he has a beast pet with a holy beast blood. Xiao Xiao motioned to Lu Ning to look at a young man below, and introduced her words. That Kui Xingchen seemed to notice something, looked up at Lu Ning, his eyes were calm, and quickly looked back. That's the pride of Yandi Town's northern province. The Tianjiao of the western regions of the Yan Empire, called Han Hebi, also participated in the Tianjiao competition last year, but failed in the first round. Besides, like a class representative doing a roll call, Xiao Xiao introduced some talents to Lu Ning. A large amount. To be able to gather such a large number of Tianjiao at one time, in addition to the Tianjiao competition, it is also the secret realm of the 72 Tianju that involves the inheritance of sequence magic. Under Xiao Xiao's tireless introduction, Lu Ning almost felt that Tianjiao is a Chinese cabbage. She also introduced last year's Tianjiao, and she thought in her heart that there were very few people of the same age who could compete with Lu Ning among this year's Tianjiao. This piece is all the mages of the Dry Empire. When Lu Ning flew to another area, Xiao Xiao was obviously a little nervous. The relationship between Qian Empire and Yan Empire is not good. Some time ago, Qiandi City and Yandi City also had a small-scale conflict in the world of the ruined continent. To Lu Ning's surprise, all the mages in the Yan Empire add up to nearly 2,000 people, involving mages under the command of various colleges, guilds, and power companies. As for the Qian Empire, there are only about 300 people in total. Among the more than 300 people, there are 3 people who stand out the most, 2 men and 1 woman. Without waiting for Xiao Xiao's introduction, one of them suddenly raised his head and waved his hand casually as if to slap a mosquito. Roar! Suddenly, a dragon chant resounded, and with a wave of the young man's hand, a miniature blood dragon immediately rushed towards Xiao Xiao and Lu Ning in the sky like shooting stars chasing the moon. Xiao Xiao turned pale with shock. How could she not know the person who made the move? It was last year's Tianjiao competition that won the first place with an absolute advantage, and was known as the most amazing Tianjiao nearly 500 years ago, Zhong Tianxi. Lu Ning pulled Xiao Xiao behind him, and then grabbed the miniature blood dragon with one hand. With a little force in his hand, the miniature blood dragon dissipated under the splash of thunder. But at this moment, another miniature blood dragon appeared and was about to pass through Xiao Xiao's heart. There was a hint of surprise in Lu Ning's eyes, but Xiao Xiao was right beside him, and the opponent's attack could not bypass him, so he grabbed the other miniature blood dragon with a flick of his left and right. I know him. He is Lu Ning from the Tianan province of the Yan Empire. He holds the key to the magic inheritance of the 5 Elements Maharaja sequence. The 5 Elements Maharaja is the most famous Pyroxene king of the Pyroxene clan. Do you want to be gifted by God now? There's no need for that. Don't talk about whether the key is real or not. Even if it is, it's probably in the hands of Tianan College. It's impossible to carry it with you. Zhang Tianxi glanced at Lu Ning in the sky, then looked away. Lu Ning looked at the dissipated blood in his hand with a thoughtful expression. Just now, was it his natural ability? He turned his head and asked Xiao Xiao. It should be. The magical talent that circles the godsend is called the second gift of the gods. Hearing the name of this talent, Lu Ning was startled. Introduced by Xiao Xiao, Zhang Tianxi will be given a second share for everything he does. Casting magic once will cause the same magic attack twice. There are rumors that he has a second life. This is an extremely perverted talent, even more exaggerated than Xiaobai's contract of the gods. And Zhang Tianxi's strength is not based on his magic talent, he is a talent against the sky, otherwise even if he has such a talent, the general level. It is useless to give more. Xiao Xiao was in shock. Lu Ning didn't know Zhang Tianxi, but she wasn't. If it wasn't for Lu Ning just now, she might have been seriously injured and dying. And that was just the power of Zhang Tianxi's casual wave. The magic flying boat flew in other directions. Later, I saw the pride of the Huang Empire. In the end, it was naturally the other side. The four directions of the Tianzhu royal court are human mages in the east and south, and a large area of foreign races temporarily occupying the west and north. Once the time barrier is broken, everyone will rush into the Tianzhu royal court, and a bloody slaughter will immediately start, the strong will live, and the dead will die. Sign in. At this time, Lu Ning took the time to sign in once. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the ability move from the check-in, Wan Lei Tian Prio Yin. 11. 10,000 Thunder Heaven Prison introduce. Lu Ning's eyes suddenly lit up. This is Lal Kenan's big move. Newly obtained a powerful ability big move, which made Lu Ning's total magic power completely exceed 1.5 million, and his physical fitness is also approaching 1300. Wan Lei Tian Prio Yin not only has super group range damage, but also has a good control paralysis effect. If this trick is used to abuse food, it will be beneficial to everyone, and you don't need to care about the number of opponents. However, Lu Ning has the Eye of Thunder and Punishment Evil, and the performance of this move in clearing the field is not bad. Wait a few more days. If nothing changes after one day, then get out of here. Lu Ning walked around the Tianzhu royal court. He was interested, but he didn't intend to waste too much time on this. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.